Yeah, so
Okay,
it's one. It's one.
Insomnia
Sorry. Go ahead.
Shuffle is live. I've got to make sure everyone's clear on a couple things. First off, we still have all of our unwritten rules that are secret rules. What we are lacking, however, is rules restricting theology, and it no longer goes private afterwards. Go fuck yourself, people. Anyway, Lenny?
Sir, yes, I was just saying to Exile that yes, I know I went from one shitstorm to another. The first one I started, but I
Yeah.
knew I was starting it when I started it.
Mhm.
But it was more kind of like a had to be said moment.
Where? When? What?
Oh, on my channel, G-Man called me a racist.
Ah, that term's going around a
Oh.
lot lately, isn't it?
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, like I said on a video game today that got me banned. You are obviously racist. You're white. All us white people are racist for being white.
that's right. It's a hallmark of my white skin, my
Mhm.
racism.
I am going to have to watch that. I didn't see
watch
the
it.
video. I
Watch
will
it.
do that. I will.
Everyone hates me again, which is just the way I seemingly like it.
Everyone or just G-Man?
Not everyone. Oh my god, I went in this massive back and forth with that useless bald fucking cum stain Mark for like all day with this fucking guy, and he's saying the most retarded shit. Like he just sounds like a massive fucking tard when he's fucking writing this crap. He I was talking about the thing in New York with Eric Garner and
Yes.
how people are kind of sensationalizing it, like they're blowing it up way the fuck out of proportion. They're inferring things that just don't appear to be true, or at least there's no evidence for. Like the cops are trying to kill people deliberately. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you waded into that?
Oh, I waded balls deep into it, sweetie. Swinging
Okay.
them left and right.
Well, yeah. Um, Good on you for wading right into there.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
So Mark the fucking superhero comes in saying the way the man was treated before and after he died was appalling. And I'm like, wait a second. He died on the way to the fucking hospital. How do you know what happened to him after he died? And he's like, I think they lied. He died at the scene. And they lied to cover it up, the EMTs and the police department. I'm like, wait, what? You're saying the New York Police Department and the EMTs lied about when he died?
Yeah, the first reports that came out, he died already. He died right there on the. You could see him going into convulsions. The street.
All the stuff I've read says he died on the way to the hospital.
Okay.
There's another thing there too, which is that in one of the videos, apparently there's somebody sitting there checking his pulse, wandering off, and going, and not bothering to render first aid. And this is one of the paramedics, which would have tried to basically jumpstart him. There was
Okay.
what was the other thing? Apparently, somebody came over to basically say what's going on with him, and the cop said he's fine, he's alive, or something like this, and then the guy coughed. And
Yes,
then somebody was claiming he was dead right after he coughed.
that's correct, yes. You can hear the fucking guy coughing in the video. And they're like, he can't breathe. And I'm like, well, a hallmark of coughing is usually breathing. I don't know.
I've read the New York Times reports on this, and the autopsy said that he did die. Okay, the chokehold. Okay, the chokehold is what interrupted his breathing, and then the being smushed down on the ground f- finished him essentially.
Right. The
Okay,
chokehold agitated the situation, and
and
being
then
held down on the ground, blood pooled in his brain.
finished him. Yes.
Ultimately, that's the cause of death. But to say that that the police murdered him instead of viewing it as what I think what it was, which was a horrible accident,
Yeah.
is completely fucked up. Because to say they murdered him belies intent. Like those guys in the NYPD went out and said, "Let's go lynch a nigger today. Let's go make sure we get one."
Yeah.
That only happens in Florida. Oh wait.
Right?
To me, it looked like a pack of jackals attacked this guy, and like for no reason at all. They could have just like negotiated the guy to turn around and put him in handcuffs. They didn't have to jump on him like that.
And while I agree, Exile, like the first thing I would say is like, of course, that chokehold is completely illegal. They shouldn't have even tried it because, frankly, shit like this happens when they do. Of course, I would agree to that, and I would also agree that even since this morning, my position's kind of shifted over to kind of like their reaction was beyond extreme. It was way too much.
Yeah.
But insofar as
Murder.
having actually not been there and having seen it, I can only assess it for what I saw. What I saw was a very large, 400-pound, very agitated man,
Yeah.
given more than 3 chances to submit. One of them was a physical chance, like they said, okay, look, you're being arrested now. He's like, no, I'm not. And they tried to put his hands behind his back. He's like, no, don't touch me. At some point, the debate has to end, and you're getting arrested, and that's it.
Yeah. The cops really shouldn't even arrested. That was an incident where, you know, like, they should have just let him go home. In my opinion, police should be doing something else besides harassing somebody like that guy. You know, I mean, he just wanted to be left alone. They should have just left him alone. He's right in his own neighborhood. Yeah.
I honestly have no idea what the circumstances leading up to it were. I haven't really followed it.
Apparently they knew him, and he used to get busted for selling loose cigarettes. Okay. On the black market, I guess.
Okay.
He would buy cigarettes at a store and then sell them in front of the store for profit, tax-free.
Something like that, yeah.
I used to sell cigarettes one at a time at the smoke pit at the high school I went to for $1 each to people who didn't have any.
Well, you should be in prison for that shit.
You should be choked out in the street.
Yeah.
But I'm white.
Ah.
But anyway, so you jumped into that fray and got into it with Mark.
Oh yeah, because Mark's a fucking tard.
Super righteous Mark, yeah.
Super righteous Mark. He's here to save the day, don't you know?
Yeah.
And of course, my dear friend, the man, the myth, the legend, Sweet Dougie. Sweet Dougie had to come on. Oh my goodness.
Warrior from Fuck, yeah.
He was in rare form today. Let me tell you what's happening. I just called him an idiot a bunch of times.
My life has been so much better since I blocked that son of a bitch. I don't have to see it. I don't have to read it.
And there were some people who had like legitimate, like you know, they just wanted to talk to me about it, and I was like, okay, cool. So I talked to them about it, like Jason Burns Archive channel, Jeff Heisenberg, a number of people like Gretchen, she was awesome. Just a number of people like, here, listen, this is my problem with what you said, and I'm like, okay, well, here's my response to it. We good? We're good. All right.
Yeah.
But no, Mark, G-Man, and Doug.
Enemy for life.
Turds.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't, like, there can't be a reasonable discussion about anything. It's either you're with us or you're against us. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything's black and white.
Way, no pun intended. Or maybe there was. Fuck it, I don't know.
I assume there was, because if so, it was funnier.
And then I understand we missed a hell of a show today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what would possess anybody to go into Alex's hangout.
I can tell you what might possess somebody to go into his hangout.
Well, you, I understand. that I get. I don't know why Jackie and Kevin would have gone over there.
Yeah, in my case, because I was willing to just ignore it, not give a crap, but at the same point, I'm like, I better watch this just as a precaution. I might have the need to deal with it, and I did. So
yeah,
that's that. But I honestly felt somebody needed to hold them accountable.
Well, apparently my one comment to Alex Botten was so upsetting that he blocked me again.
So is it the word hi?
I don't know, it was probably like a one-line sentence. You know, he unblocked everybody or whatever, but his comments disappeared to me, so I take it he blocked me, which is fine. I haven't seen anything from these guys in, I don't know, since October, early October. End of September, I think it was. It's been okay with me.
Sounds peaceful.
It was. Until today.
Yeah, well, we're done with that.
Yay, Botten!
Yep. Well, yeah, I still think we should use Botten periodically as a random word, kind of like, you know, the Smurfs used Smurfy.
Kind of like how Santorum got changed.
What?
Not familiar with that one.
Rick Santorum was
I know
running.
who Rick Santorum is, but what was the...
his last name became a word that means the nasty mix of semen and feces, sometimes resulting from anal sex.
Wow, I really didn't need to know that.
It's good to know. Good to know.
Yep.
Next time I have to describe that exact situation, I will remember.
Just use the word
To
Santorum.
Santorum. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, and at the risk of actually agreeing with Lenny, I think he did a reasonable appraisal of what he was able to see. Now, the thing is there more to the situation? Yeah, probably. But this is based upon what he was able to observe, and I think based on that, he did a reasonable dissection. Now, mind you, I haven't gone out there. I haven't, gone video to video to try and figure this shit out. So I'm just going, from what I heard, it sounded fairly solid. Now, is there a lot of shit going on right now? Yeah. Is there a lot of fucked up shit with the cops going on? Yeah. Should that chokehold have ever happened? No. Was this guy an immense motherfucker that was going to take several people to take down? Yeah. Did they know that he had a breathing problem? I don't know.
Could they have just put him in handcuffs? Yes, they could have. If there were 16 of them, I don't know, or 16.
It didn't look like he.
There were like 5. There were 5 cops. There were 4 or 5 cops. Okay. If they could jump on him and take him down to the ground, they certainly could have turned his body and put fucking handcuffs on him. Yeah? It's like the guy was just having a bad day, you know? This is what pisses me off. This guy was just having a bad day. He had just broken up a fight. Now all of a sudden the cops wanted to like harass him and take him in again. The guy was probably just really tired of being harassed by the police. And personally, I think the people across this country need to take back their freaking police forces. Get a grip on them. They are acting like fucking, they're militarized against people. And too many people are ending up dead for no reason at all. Our police forces are out of control, in my opinion.
I agree with just about most of what you just said. Whether or not he deserved to be arrested is an irrelevancy based on what I saw in the video. I wasn't there. I don't know. He may have been committing a crime. He may not have. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care only insofar as because I can't know what was really happening insofar as what was going on behind the scenes or before the cameras started rolling. Yeah. What I can say is there was a point when the police said, "We're done debating this. You're coming with us." And he said what was tantamount to "Fuck you, no, I'm not." They tried to put his hands behind his back. He indicated he didn't want to do that. He's a very large man. He's very pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, while I think the reaction was beyond extreme, at some point, as a citizen, you have to realize when you're talking to the cops, you can talk to them and try and get answers and try and explain yourself. But when they say we're done talking, you are done talking.
Mm.
You can't fuck with the police. You just can't. Now, if you think there's a problem, or you feel like you've been treated unjustly, or they're harassing or picking on you, you can take that up with the judicial system later. There's a time and a place for that. It's not when you're being detained.
The thing is, it's a tricky situation. I mean, we have all these cases coming up, and a lot of them are kind of bullshit. In one of the cases, there was a cop that shot, what was it, like a 12-year-old or something like this, and afterwards was, from the way the story goes, walked out of the situation just cussing up a storm, and more along the lines of, I don't believe that just happened. You know, this kind of oh no kind of thing, realizing, you know, after the fact what happened because they were just reacting. Now,
have you seen the footage of that?
No, I've not seen the footage of it yet.
Was this the one with the toy gun?
There was a 12-year-old kid sitting in a park in a
Timmy race,
and they just drove up on the grass super fast, pulled up, stopped, and shot the kid.
No. This was a different situation. This was a different one in which they actually had to go into a building.
Oh.
This I just heard about earlier today, and I haven't gotten any cooperation on it yet.
Okay.
But the thing is, and this is where I'm going to get controversial myself, Yeah, there's an issue out there. I will acknowledge that. There's a serious issue. But I think there's a secondary thing, which is that with things like the riots and the protests and the amount of vitriol, I think there's a lot of cops around the country. It's not an easy job. I think they're scared. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are out there in that situation that are worried about people coming for them, especially, frankly, well, in some cases, white cops. Now, some of them, you know, there are problems. Some of them are assholes. Some of them are just starting shit and all this other stuff. And some of them, yes, are racist.
Mm.
But my thought is that there are some of them that might not be, that are just worried about blowback from things that may have nothing to do with them specifically.
Yeah, the whole system needs to go back in time a little bit, I think, to community policing. Police used to walk around, get to know who people were, get to know the neighborhood. You know, they understand this person over here has mental illness. This other person over here has a lot of stress in their lives. So the day that you're having a bad day is not going to be the day you have to die if you have to call the police. That's just insane, some of this stuff. That guy standing on the street there was just having a bad day. You could see it. It was all over him, you know? He had just broken up a fight, and the police were like, we're going to take you in. And it's just like, not again, man. Just not again.
My question is, what were they technically going to take him in for?
I know, right?
I mean, did he actually do something? I don't know. There's too many unknowns. And this is the thing is...
He just got mouthy with them, you know, and they didn't like it. That's the way it looked like to me.
I don't know, but the thing is, in a lot of these situations, we don't really know what's going on. So, in general, all of us are talking out of our asses.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know. Now, I don't want this to sound like I'm giving the police the benefit of the doubt, simply because I've met some cops that are really, really good. And I've met some cops that are really, really bad.
Me too.
Yep.
I've met some in between, too. I mean, I'm used to up in Massachusetts where, you know, they'd have somebody walking down the street smoking a joint, and lo and behold, you'd have the cop just walk up to them and go, just put it out. Just get there. Now stomp it out. Now don't do that again. And this is, you know, a lot of the kind of thing I'm used to seeing in the past. Now, down here in Texas, it's totally fucking different and around some of these areas. Because there is a lot of racial profiling, this and that I've seen in some areas. But I've also seen a little bit of that in reverse, which is kind of weird. But not too much, but a little bit here and there, and that's kind of weird. Of course, what I think is friggin' hilarious, because I've got to tell this anecdote just for the hell of it. Now, the plates that my wife and I have on our car are from Colorado. Because she is getting the car from her aunt and all this other stuff. So we're sitting there driving around in our little car, and we get pulled over. And we're like, what the hell? So we get pulled over, and the cop comes up there, shines the light, and he says, oh, okay, you're not the people we're looking for, you're white. And I said, what? Well, come to find out, they were looking for somebody with a car of our same make, same color, Colorado plates, with a black and Hispanic woman in there, but the way that it came across when he first said it was like, oh, never mind, you're white, you can go.
That reminds me of a song parody that does that exact situation.
But literally, they were looking for people that had abducted a kid that were very specific, yada, 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 but when they first said it, I'm like, what? Thinking, this doesn't, no, what the fuck?
Wow, you're not even trying to hide it anymore, are you?
Yeah, that was my first thought. Then I found out what the situation was, because no, I was not going to let that go without asking, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Trying to find this. There was also a guy who was white that they were talking about in here, who was just brutalized. He died. I mean, they killed him. A homeless guy who had schizophrenia. They knew he had schizophrenia. Have you guys heard of this one? Let me see if I can find his name.
I don't think I've heard of this one, honestly.
You haven't heard of he was a homeless guy.
I did hear about the guy that decided that he was going to sit there and...
Todd, I think his name is.
I did hear the guy that went to an area where there were a bunch of protesters lying down on the road and decided to floor it and run them over. while waving his gun out the window, and then got pulled over and arrested, not shot. But that was a white guy in that instance. But there's so many variables. It's so weird to try and make a judgment. There's so little we actually know about any of these fucking cases. Now, I don't know. It's a problem any fucking way around it.
You just go watch the footage of this guy. This I don't know how many people were recording it, but the one I saw was a recording was taken from I'd say up street a little ways, just right there. You can see so much. There's so much information.
I would like to see more like along lines of security footage of what happened before the actual incident.
Yeah.
That's, I think, part of the problem is something starts happening, people pull out their cameras. You don't get them before, typically. That's kind of a problem.
Kelly Thomas. Here we go.
Luckily, there are security cameras bloody everywhere, so...
Here you go.
Yeah, but usually that security camera footage is absconded by the police. And frankly, when you're in an area where people don't, yeah. And that's the thing, is how should you trust? I don't know. I don't know.
I saw the footage of this guy being killed by the police. Let me put it in the window here. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is when I was killing people for the government, I actually had good reason to. It wasn't anything to do with race.
Well, it depends. There are some places in the in the country where there's high racial tension, like in Missouri. I think it was near St. Louis recently. I have friends that live down there, and that they. I don't know. Okay, that one was kind of tricky for me, but I still think they should have had a trial. I don't think they should have just not held the trial. That really pissed people off right there.
I'm waiting to see if the federal investigation comes back.
Ferguson. Yeah.
One thing you're going to run into is the proverbial brotherhood of police.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a brotherhood, and they do tend to look out for their own. There's a long history of this.
Yeah.
And because of that, it makes it makes a good gateway to cynicism, frankly. Not simply skepticism, but actual cynicism.
Yeah. Yeah. Cynicism, indeed.
Involuntary manslaughter.
Well, this is kind of my whole point. I mean, we're hearing people say things that actually, heavy words that have effect when they hit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you say stuff like, black folks are being executed in the street, those words mean something, because it's not true. These people were racist. Look, they were clearly racist. How is it clear? Are you in their heads? I didn't see them do or say anything racist in the video I saw. I saw them overreact. Saw that. Ain't no motherfuckers wearing hoods or burning crosses. Just saying.
Well, the thing is, I mean, in the case of racial profiling, is it fair to call that racist?
It's a fear of black people.
But at the same point, that particular guy, they already knew him. He had a record. So is it applicable in that particular situation?
Which one, Ferguson or
the other?
Or the guy with the cigarette?
The one of the big.
No, it's not fair to call that racism. We've no idea. We've no idea what the opinions of these people were. To my understanding, they had a history with that man in particular. They had repeatedly caught him selling cigarettes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just
big
saying.
fucking deal.
There is they knew this guy. This guy was known to them. This wasn't just some schmo they randomly picked off the street.
Right, and that's why they should have just left him alone. Yeah.
But if he's breaking the law and they have a job to do, do you leave him alone?
Yeah. Fucking selling cigarettes, Yeah, leave him alone. He's not doing anything to hurt anybody.
Well, regardless of how we feel about what he's doing, if he's breaking the law and they can pick him up for it, that's That's what he's doing.
Oh God, I don't know. Well, I think the vote should go to the people of the town. Like, if he's not bothering anybody that lives around there, they should just leave him the fuck alone.
We can't afford to run our judicial system that way.
Why not? You're gonna arrest every single person who breaks the law?
Every single person we can catch, yes.
Every single person you can catch who's breaking the law, who's not really hurting anybody.
Not indiscriminately. I mean, case by case, first offenses, easy offs, stuff like that.
That's not how
If you
things
break
work.
the law, then you should and someone can arrest you, then they should arrest you, unless there are circumstances that might be better if you don't get arrested or something comes up. You know what I
My
mean?
opinion, if you broke the law and caused burden or harm to someone else for some reason other than your own or someone else's survival, death penalty right then. No first offense get off anything.
That sounds
Well, I
reasonable.
certainly don't agree with that one.
Yeah,
That
that's a
sounds
bit
super reasonable.
psychotic.
Yeah.
I hope he wasn't
Wasn't what? I missed that.
serious.
Oh. No. If you burden or hurt someone for some reason other than your own or someone else's survival, what the fuck do we need you in society for?
Congratulations, Lenny. You just became a moderate.
Sweet. What do you consider? I'm sorry. I'm just my mind's fundamentally blown here.
You decide you want to go buy a dime bag and you don't have the money for it, so you steal someone's car radio and pawn it off or some shit like that. You didn't need that money for survival. Fuck you. Death penalty.
Okay, we're done talking. Moving on.
Yeah. It's illegal to sell loose cigarettes, but you've got Wall Street people who have get some perspective, guys. It's a little bit of perspective here. People are coming up with survival strategies. They're going to sell a few loose cigarettes here. There's some people that might want to buy them that way. What's the harm? Seriously, what is the freaking harm?
Regardless of whether or not, but
why are they
I mean,
wasting?
like, to me, this is like kind of like, I mean, I don't know, because it's like
They should just be like, okay, there's the guy that sells loose cigarettes. Let's pretend we don't see it. Just keep fucking walking. Yeah? It's just some guy who lives in the neighborhood that everybody else seems to be pretty comfortable with, right? So why are they hassling him?
And selling loose cigarettes I wouldn't consider a crime unless he had stolen the cigarettes to begin with.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's not the law is what the law is, and if he doesn't like the law, then he can accepting a social contract by living there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he can officially move if he doesn't like the law or isn't comfortable with it. The law is what the law is, and if he's breaking it, then he needs to be called out on it.
The law is what the law is, but the law is not evenly applied, is what I'm saying. It's there for police to use as they see fit. There's discrimination there. In other words, they could be like focusing on somebody else instead of that guy. They don't have to go after every single person who's done a bad thing that day.
That's true.
That's against the law.
They often do and will pick their battles. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen a cop ignore me when I blew through a red light. One time I was drunk driving home from the pub. Cop pulls me over. Instead of giving me a DUI, he made sure I got home safe. He followed me home. Cops have been dicks to me too. They pick their battles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Fortunately for this gentleman, this battle got picked.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's dead now, and there was absolutely no reason for it. None.
I don't think that anyone is responsible for his death. I think it's an accident, and the reason why it's called an accident is because it's nobody's fault. A series of events led right up to the day he died. No one could have foreseen it. No one wanted it to happen. The police didn't want him to die.
Think about it, okay? Okay, you just got done saying the law, right? The law was broken. The guy was selling fucking loose cigarettes or whatever, okay?
Yes.
Think about this. Someone was actually killed over this shit. Someone died.
It was an accident. No one was killed for
Accident
loose
or
cigarettes.
not. Accident or not.
Well, someone died. Let's complain about it until he comes back to life.
In my opinion, it's like, okay, Big Jim, whatever his name was, like, oh, that big guy that we know who sells loose cigarettes, having a bad day, let him go fucking home. He was trying to reason with the cops. He was like, come on, you guys, please, okay? Having a bad day. And that's the subtext there. They should have just been like, okay, you go home, chill out. You know, I'll see you later. That could have happened, and they just
It could have, but the reality
they just got their freaking egos
it
challenged. You could see it. It was a pissing contest now. Oh, okay, he's mouthy, so we gotta fucking take him down. We gotta spend 6 officers, gang jumped him like a pack of ravenous wolves, and took him down onto the ground.
Oh, see, now again, like, I mean, that's the kind. I mean, that's not really how it was, though, was it?
He posed. Yes, they did. They jumped on him. One was hanging off of his throat while the others were wrestling him to the ground.
Well, that's because the guy who jumped him was 5'10", and he's probably 6'2".
I don't want my police doing that to just a local guy that's just hanging out there, dude. If he's not like somebody who's like dangerous, I don't want police doing that shit.
We don't know if he was dangerous or not. He was very agitated. He was invited to submit himself to being arrested.
I'm just saying, if he's not a dangerous guy, if he's just selling loose cigarettes.
I could finish my point at some point.
I'm just saying. Okay. If he's not.
Continue to just say.
If he's not a violent person, if he's not a threat to other people, I don't want my police force doing what they did to that man. I don't want my police force that I pay their salaries with my tax money, doing that shit. I want them to have a positive police force that knows the community, okay? That knows when somebody's having a bad day and they're just going to let it go and not going to waste their time harassing people in their own neighborhoods.
Right. Now, if I may, you said they were harassing him. We don't know that. All right? You said he wasn't a danger to anybody. We don't know that. Okay. We have next to no information, and we're making all these big, grandiose things. Look, while I agree, dying for loose cigarettes is a ridiculous thing to die for. Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. And nothing, as I said so many times already today, nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen. He should have just put it. Well, as soon as they said you're under arrest, his hand should have gone right behind his fucking back. End of debate. He didn't do that. The cops shouldn't have pounced on him. Should not have. Nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen, and as a result, somebody got killed. It was an accident. That's all.
When the guy was saying I can't breathe several times, and
when someone's saying I can't breathe, that means they can't breathe. Because when you can't breathe, you can't fucking talk.
But I have less information than the rest of you. I haven't looked into this, haven't seen the videos or anything. But assuming all he was doing was selling cigarettes, loose cigarettes, and he's been known to do that. If he's been known to do that, he's probably heard a warning from them before. So letting him off with a warning is no longer an option. They needed to bring him in and charge him with a little misdemeanor or whatever. And that's where things went wrong. He didn't agree with that. That's as far as I've gotten.
If he decided to put his goddamn dander down, he could have gone to jail that day, spent a couple hours on the inside, gotten a little bit of a ticket, walked out of there, do whatever the fuck he wants the rest of his day, sell loose cigarettes all he wants.
Exactly.
But no, he had to be a dick.
I want you guys to see this. I want you to actually watch the video if we're going to continue to talk about it, okay? Let me see if I can find it. His name was Nate. What's his name? Nate?
I don't know. But again, I'm granting you that maybe that is all he was doing, but it sounds like he's done that before. He's already had his warning. He needed to be charged at that point.
Extreme. That's pretty fucking extreme.
Did you see it? Can you guys see the fucking video footage of this shit?
Am I under the right fucking account? Oh, no.
I can't see it. I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm going to be honest with you. But I will look at it.
Did you find it, someone? Okay. I'm looking for it still. Video. I don't want pictures. I want video.
Hi, Pooh. Pooh?
The boom.
Hello. Yes.
Boom.
Yay, we have Boom back.
Yeah, Boom's still in trouble for false advertising.
False advertising?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was false advertising.
Now, Boom, what I need for you to do, is find a way to make this about Gamergate. segue us from police hate crimes to Gamergate.
It's like 6 degrees.
I have full faith that Boom could do that if he wanted.
Yes, I could.
There you go.
There actually was people who were swatted on our side. There you go.
Can he do it?
I didn't even talk about that. The swatting.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people on our side that got swatted.
Again.
Alright,
Yeah.
you guys, here's the video.
Yeah, I thought they were cracking down on that shit.
They're trying, but they have to respond, dude. They have to respond to calls. They're saying that people are doing shit that's terrible.
They have to respond to bomb threats and mass shooting threats.
Yeah.
My
It sucks, but
business.
it's true.
And they have to respond with, a SWAT team. Well, is it
They
necessary?
don't have to.
Hold on, is it really necessary to respond with a SWAT team?
Well, technically, they could, if they were going to respond with a regular police force, they could, technically, but, I mean, barging into a building with a SWAT team is kind of odd. In general, considering if the place is wired, then it goes boom and the police die.
Boom. Hold down, go boom.
They go boom to boom.
Are you guys watching?
Oh, no. I think I already saw this. I already saw the actual video. But yeah, this is the video. I saw it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
When did I start making old man noises?
Don't worry, because he was just sitting there.
Hang on. Okay, sorry, let me turn the volume off on this crap.
Yeah, I'm going into away mode so I can watch the video.
Oh,
I understand. I have seen the footage. I've seen it a number of times just today, so I can make sure I have my facts right. I just want to make it clear one more time for the cheap seats. If you can talk, you can breathe.
Mm.
And if you can cough, you
Not
can
if you're having
absolutely
trouble
breathe.
breathing.
Resist arrest.
Not if you're having trouble breathing, which means I can't breathe. I mean, you've said that before. Like, if you've ever had someone choking you, you're like, you're still alive, right? You're just having trouble getting a breath in. And I think that's what he was describing. The guy had some health issues.
So
He had some
so
health
people
issues.
yeah, absolutely. He was an asthmatic and he was fucking 400 pounds.
They choked him and they prevented him from breathing properly, Owen. From breathing properly.
I understand that.
Get
And
down, Pixel.
I understand that, and I conceded immediately. Yes,
Okay.
his ability to breathe was obstructed.
It
But
is.
if he's getting air in his lungs to speak, then he's capable of breathing poorly. And the autopsy report did reveal that it was likely the chokehold, plus the pressure on his chest from being dogpiled.
You need to be
Ultimately,
careful
it
with
led to his
people
death.
when people are saying I can't breathe. You need to be careful with them. You should be leaving them alone and administering them first aid.
So I did
Okay?
just watch the video, and what I saw was they did take him down as they would normally do. The choking part was unnecessary, but they did take him down other than that under normal procedure, and he did resist arrest prior to that.
Yeah. I mean, after he was let go and they got off of him, like, you can't assume that.
Look at that shit. That is fucking fucked up.
They
I'm
can't
sorry.
assume. They cannot know or assume that somebody has asthma. That's not a common ailment for everyone. They can't know that. That's not something they can know.
Bullshit. The guy started putting his hands behind his back, and they just fucking choked him right away. That's bullshit.
No.
The guy was.
He
I have to
resisted.
interject
Look
there.
at-
He
watch
was
it
pushing
again.
them off. He was pushing them off. I just watched it.
Dude.
That's why they grabbed
Watch
him.
it
because he
again.
was pushing them away.
I saw that.
He was literally
One-
saying, "Don't touch me," as this
Yeah.
was happening.
Mhm.
Who wants a pack of fucking wild animals on them? Seriously.
There
I
were only
wouldn't.
2 to begin with until he started pushing them away.
Mm-hmm.
This
He
all
wasn't-
could have been resolved if he
didn't
when
push
they said, "Put your
anybody.
hands behind your back."
Who didn't push anyone?
You want a
They choked-
timestamp?
I'm looking. 1 minute, 20 seconds. Just start watching it from there. Okay? I'm seeing the same thing you
Start
are.
1:15.
He's got his hands up. Okay? It's just like, it's bullshit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's 3 cops. And 1 around his neck. And then another one comes. Okay, this is bullshit. I gotta go. I don't want people in my neighborhood treated like that. I'd rather have them go home and relax, yeah, and calm the fuck down before I deal with them. Police need to know who's in their neighborhoods and not be hassling people that aren't doing anything really seriously wrong. Apparently the guy just broke up a fight, okay? That's all he did.
I didn't see him break up a fight.
Well,
I can't comment on that part.
So that's supposedly why there was the police there at all.
Yeah, he is pushing away from them before he grabbed onto him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, after the point, like I said, there's no way they can assume that he has asthma, but after the point in which they get off of him, he should be perfectly fine, able to breathe, because he's just on his stomach. There's nothing anyone that would lead them to automatically assume somebody has asthma.
Absolutely.
And the guy didn't say he was having an asthma attack. He said there's nothing they could know on that.
And besides which, I mean, as somebody, again, who has chronic asthma, sometimes when I inhale allergens or things that irritate my asthma, I know what to do, and the first thing that you got to concentrate and calm down. Focus. Just breathe through it as slowly and calmly as possible, and your body will do the rest. It sucks and it's hard to do, but it's what you have to do. Otherwise, you know, I'm not saying I could die for an asthma attack. My asthma's not that bad, and I'm not 400 fucking pounds. But it can get very dangerous for you to be at that high level of blood pressure for a prolonged period of time. It's what you have to do, and he wasn't doing that. I admit it's probably tricky to do when you've got 6 guys pounced on you trying to hold you down, but still, though.
When that first cop went in just to grab his arm to bring him in, he should have gone with it instead of pushing him off, flailing and saying, "Don't touch me, don't touch me."
Right. He didn't want to go to jail.
The officers wanted him to go to jail.
Right. Again, for the cheap seats, I want to make this clear. The police should not have used that hold. They're not supposed to. It is illegal for them to do that.
And they frickin' started with it, too.
That's right.
That was the second step, technically.
Yeah.
Well, the first person I saw grab him was the guy from behind with the chokehold.
Yeah,
the first grab was onto his arm from the guy closest to the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the second grab was from the guy from behind, and then the guy from behind goes to grab for him as the person who was trying to get arrested.
Yeah. When the Garner guy yanked his arm from the guy behind him, that's when the guy jumped on him. And he went around like this at first, and then he transitioned to the chokehold. That's the illegal move.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. He shouldn't have done that.
It is ultimately what led to the guy's death. And again, I think this is a clear-cut case of nobody doing what they're supposed to be doing, everything going all wrong, and unfortunately it resulted in someone dying. It's a terrible accident.
Yeah, there was definitely no intent of killing there that I saw.
It's the same.
Like the cops seemed pretty calm, even though he may have been dealing with them all day. They didn't seem to be yelling. They seemed to be just talking.
Yeah, but the frustration in his voice saying that he didn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, I get it.
Sounded legitimate too.
Absolutely, especially when you feel you've been persecuted all day, and then you have to deal with new people, even if these cops weren't the ones that were harassing them.
But the best place to clear up the situation would be down at the police station. He doesn't need to fight there. He can take care of it later, and a lawyer can if he can't.
Yep.
But oh well.
Yeah. There's nothing we can do about it other than say give him a citation for using an illegal move.
Yep.
I just don't know.
Yeah, again, all that we and this is why my whole bugbear fucking started. This is why I kind of waded into this thing, because this is a rare occasion where we have actual video footage to look at, and there's very little conjecture. We don't have to have conjecture because we were there. We saw it happen in front of us in real time. Mm-hmm. Great camera angles, more than one camera angle, stuff that happened before, during, and after. And yet still people are saying those fucking racist cops. No evidence of racism.
This reminds me of a kind of a funny story. I was going through the little MEO briefing, Management of Equal Opportunity. They go over racism and discrimination in the office and everything, and I was in the Air Force at this time. And the guy giving the presentation goes, "Let me give you an example. Who here thinks OJ did it? Who thinks he killed her?" And a couple of us raised our hands, and he goes, "Okay, and now who thinks he didn't do it?" And a couple of other people raised their hands, and he goes, "See, now all the white people think he did it, all the black people think he didn't do it, just because he might have killed a white woman." I went, wait. She was white? I had no idea up until that point.
How to check. But frankly,
That's actually kind of due to
I
be.
think because I think he is not guilty of killing her. However, he is responsible for her death because that's what the court decided. Whether it makes any fucking sense or not, that's how it ended up. Bullshit on some levels, perhaps.
Yeah,
But
that was a civil case, but
All I know is some celebrity may have killed their spouse, and then after he got off, he wrote a book called "If I Did It."
if I'd done it.
Well, I'm not really too familiar with the OK case. I'm more familiar with the Casey Anthony case, where she
Oh God.
The one where
thought.
she
Yeah,
killed
that
the
was
kid?
fucked up.
Yeah, I think she did it. I really think she did it.
There's not
But
a doubt in anyone's mind she fucking did it.
then how the fuck did she get away with it?
I'll tell you how.
understand.
I tell you what. That happened here in Central Florida. It happened only a few miles away from where I work. It was all that was on TV was this fucking trial, top to bottom. There was
I
nothing
remember.
else on TV. And it was big news here in Florida because it was like local news. This happened here.
Yeah.
And every time the prosecution brought something up to the table, the defense came back with, "You can't prove that." And the prosecution came up with something else, and the defense was like, "You can't prove that." And then they didn't have enough evidence to fucking convict, so they didn't. But everyone knows,
because-
knows she fucking did it.
Yeah.
Because it really, really seemed like she did.
Didn't she have like traces of
Form?
chloroform? Yeah, somewhere like in the trunk or
It was
something
in the
like
trunk
that.
of her car, yeah.
And she also looked it up online, and
The kid was missing for a fucking month and
There
she didn't
was
tell
just-
anybody.
so much evidence against her. It was crazy.
All circumstantial, none of it could stick.
I'm just watching this footage. This is unconscionable.
I've watched it too.
It
Just watched it the first time.
absolutely
sucks. I mean, it sucks that this happened.
It does?
And when they're telling the guy, put your hands behind your back while the other guy is smashing your head into the ground, yeah, that is fucking fucked up. If
Holding
you've
their
ever-
head to the ground is normal when
Smushing his face into the ground.
That's
How
what happened
old
with
is
While
it?
the other cop is telling him to put his hands behind his back. That's
that part's
fucked up.
actually normal.
When you resist
It's not right. They gotta
Exile.
stop doing this.
Sweetie,
They gotta stop doing
when
this.
you resist arrest, this is what happens to you.
They didn't have to do what they did.
Usually they
you
put
can
their
even
foot
see
on
you
your
can
head.
even see early on in the footage, okay, when the guy's choking him and they're wrestling him back and he isn't down on the ground yet, he's still standing. They could have easily just stopped right there and put the fucking cuffs on him, but no, the cops have to do this shitty thing where you smash people onto the ground and it's impossible to comply now that you're in pain. 6 different ways to Sunday and you've got 5 people on you like a pack of wild animals.
As soon as you resist,
You cannot comply when your physical body is under attack. Try doing
Yeah.
it, okay?
having
doing
seen
it.
many arrests in my time, if the moment you resist arrest, it is normal procedure to tackle you to the ground and keep your head pushed to the ground, usually with a foot or knee, like Ben and Barry said.
Yeah, well, they need to stop fucking doing that. They're killing too many of us. They're killing too many people.
That's not what will kill us. That is not what'll kill us because our heads and bodies can take that amount of force.
Mm-hmm.
Normally.
Not
under
everybody's
normal
can.
circumstances.
Not everyone's can. No. They've done this shit to fucking 50-year-old women who are my age, okay? Yeah, and it's out of control. You guys, I don't know, somebody my age who remembers what policing is supposed to look like, this is not what policing looks like.
Hopefully you would have, a woman your age
This
would have
isn't-
the common sense not to resist arrest.
Well, you wouldn't have to if you were being treated like a decent human being and people were being reasonable with you. Yeah.
It seemed like they were being reasonable. I have seen dickish cops. I have seen cops be aggressive, loud, and rude.
I've
But
seen
these
someone
cops
shot.
do not-
I've seen someone shot 3 times in the chest because they were reaching for their wallet. Some cops aren't exactly level-headed, but if you resist arrest, to be tackled and pinned and held down is normal procedure and is proper.
Exiled, you can look at that footage as many times as you like, but you have to admit, at the start of that footage, Eric Garner is the only pissed off person in that footage. Everyone else is calm, talking to him, trying to get him to relax. He's not doing it.
Yeah, well, they're the ones with the guns, Owen. They're the ones with the guns. They're the ones with the power.
Yeah, that's right. They are the ones with the authority. So
Yeah.
that when they say we're done talking, what they
They're
mean
the
is
ones
we're
with the
done talking.
authority. Guess what? They're the ones who are responsible for this guy's being killed
Mhm.
by their fucking massive attack. Overkill.
It's not. I can't put all of the responsibility on them.
I do.
Not all of it.
We are the people, okay? And we do have a say in this. These are people who are acting on our behalf, so to speak. Yeah? They're acting on our behalf. Well,
When it
not
comes,
ours, but I mean, like the people who live there. Yeah, those are the people who's the people who aren't doing anything wrong. Yeah, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. Those guys. Yeah.
in response to your comment that they're the ones with the guns, I do also want to point out a key piece of evidence that they are calm right now. All the clips on their guns are buttoned down right now in the entire video.
They're taking down a big heavy man. That's very easy to do. Yeah, because he's just his
How
weight
many
is
big
going to
heavy
be
men have
used
you taken
again.
down?
His weight
I
is
don't know if you know this.
how many with 5 people went around his neck and having him in a chokehold, hanging off of him. His feet were off the ground. That cop, he was hanging off this guy's throat.
A big guy like that? Come on. I would want to crowbar in a 10-minute head start if I'm going to take this.
Actually, if you know what you're doing, like I know it's not hard to do this in Hapkido, which I've done, which I've taken classes in. It's not that hard to take. If someone who's big, you can use their weight against them and take them down very effectively, assuming they can't counter you. It's not that hard to take someone who's twice your size down.
Assumptions are something you're trained not to make.
You're
as
choking
a cop.
someone, and you've just impeded their ability to breathe. Now you're smashing their head into the ground. Come on.
No one's saying the choke was the right thing to do. In fact, I think everyone in this room has said, I don't know how many times already, the chokehold was the wrong thing to do. It's illegal for him to do anyway, and it's part of what fucked up.
Yes, everything else was
They
normal
all should be
procedure.
taken down to the
choking was
ground.
the only thing that was
Every
not.
single one of them who were choking him, then if what they're doing is
was
illegal,
only one
they should have been
choking
fucking
him.
taken down.
Only
Yeah.
one person was
There was
And the rest were
only
complicit. The
one-
rest of them were helping. Yeah.
No. There was
Fucking-
only one person
I'm sorry.
choking.
I'm gonna calm down.
There was only one person. I agree. That person should get that citation.
No, they all
How-
should. They all
How
should
about
be-
the other
they
cops?
ought
They
to
should
be-
have gone, hey, what are you doing? You know, chokehold.
It was
They were
in the
helping.
heat of the moment. There's not
Also,
much that can be
he
done.
released the chokehold at 1:38, and he started saying, "I can't breathe." Just after that.
Yeah. Well, he had just been choked, and after you're choked, I don't know if anybody in here has ever been choked. I have.
I have.
Okay.
I have.
And
Oh, boy.
they take
I've
that
been
shit.
strangled till I passed out.
They take that shit. If all I have to do is go and say this man choked me, and then you will be under arrest. That's how seriously we should take choking. Okay.
Once again,
and that's how
And if that
seriously
guy,
we do.
and if the guy that choked you, that you got arrested, resisted arrest, he'd be pinned down the exact same way, with
Now,
the exception
I'm
of the
so
choking.
sorry, because this is important. If you're being choked, as someone who has been choked,
Mhm.
and you know anything about not entertainment wrestling, MMA, UFC, if you're being choked, you can't breathe at all, because that's kind of the fucking point.
Yes, you can. You can still breathe until you're choked out. Okay? It's sort of like you aren't out of breath yet. In other words, you can't get a full breath in, but you're not dead. You're not unconscious yet. So you can still eke out words. Yeah? You can
If
still
he's
eke words
talking,
out.
he's breathing.
The freaking coroner even said his ability to breathe was severely impeded, and then the shit that they were doing to him on the ground finished him off. That he died from choking
For a
to
second,
death.
I don't believe for a second he was in any sincere sense being choked, not choked to death at all. He died as a result of what happened, absolutely. But to throw, when people are like, you know, he was choked to death. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Choking was released at 1:38.
And was anybody
Can I
helping him to
continue?
breathe at that point? No. Then he had been choked to death.
To speak.
Nonsense.
You
Absolute
call.
nonsense.
He couldn't, if he wasn't being helped to breathe after he had been choked, okay, and that was from what and he died from the choking and the inability to breathe, then he was choked to death.
His
That's
breathing,
kind of why they
he was
rolled him
breathing fine
over
on his
on
own.
his back.
You can hear the police saying in the video, he's breathing fine.
And
And they were incorrect about that.
Hang on.
They were
The
incorrect.
network rolls is 2 at a time, and Boom's been trying to speak. I'm running to the store. Y'all behave. I'll
Yes.
be right back.
The police, the paramedic was there, and he was alive. He rolled him over on his back, and he wasn't administering any medical. He wasn't doing any emergency procedures. He wasn't feeling like he needed to be in a rush. If anyone at that time, which they were talking to him to get him to move over to the bed, to get him in the ambulance. If anyone who at that time knew that there was a problem, it would have been the paramedics more than anyone else. And they weren't in a rush. They weren't in a hurry.
Now, okay, so let me just tell you why. Let me tell you what the medical examiner ruled. Eric Garner, death is a homicide. He was killed by a chokehold. That is what the medical examiner said. Okay, I'm right on the page. Medical examiner has ruled the death of Eric Garner, a 43-year-old father, whose death in police custody sparked a homicide, saying a chokehold killed him. The medical examiner said compression of the neck and chest, along with Garner's positioning on the ground while being restrained by police during the July 17th stop on Staten Island, caused his death. Now, why is it saying July 17th? Am I on the wrong?
This happened in July.
Oh, okay. I thought this recently happened. Okay.
No, it's only coming up now because the cop's indictment passed
I
recently,
see.
or his non-indictment passed recently. He wasn't indicted, and the whole Ferguson thing has got it all fired the fuck up. This happened months ago.
All right. That's what the medical examiner said. Now he had some health conditions. Okay, we can take that into. He had acute chronic bronchial asthma. He was overweight, and he was hypertensive with cardiovascular disease. Those were contributing factors. Okay, they were. But if you're going to take a person into custody that way, the way that they did, then you need to be responsible for the person's death. All of them. All of them.
The only person who is responsible and needs to be persecuted, and I'm sorry that you think all of them do, because they don't. They don't all deserve that. It's not like they were collectively trying to kill him. It was one person.
I didn't say they were trying to kill him.
Illegal move. It was one person, and I agree that person deserves.
4 EMS workers were suspended without pay. Okay? Every other one of those motherfuckers who were taking him down could tell that there was a guy hanging off of his throat. Okay? The first thing that needed to happen is that guy needed to be removed from that man's throat, and then the man needed to be taken into custody. Okay? Because, you know, moving your arms around and just standing there like that guy was doing is not a physical threat. Somebody hanging off your throat is a physical threat. That's
And he did remove himself from the throat as soon as the perpetrator was in a manageable position. However, he does still need a citation for using the illegal move. Nothing else really needs to happen there, unless you want to invent some new way to take down a perp and submit it to them for training.
I'm just telling you what everybody in New York who are in charge of these men that basically killed him, okay? They were suspended without pay. Okay?
While it was investigated, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
And that's normal procedure, too.
Hey.
How's it going, folks?
Hey, you.
I see Boom's in the room. What's up, Boom? I fucking miss you, man.
So he was in a chokehold for about, let's see, it started at 21 after.
Until 38.
Actually was released at 37.
That's a long time.
16 seconds of being choked will not.
It's a long time.
Bad.
It's not a lethal chokehold.
It took me probably about a minute and 33 seconds or so before I was passed out when I was being strangled. So
it takes about 30 seconds before you start to, on the average person, we're talking, before people start to feel real discomfort from being choked.
Oh yeah, the discomfort starts pretty quickly, but I didn't have any serious effects like when I passed out from lack of oxygen for quite some time after that.
Yeah. It takes from lack of oxygen, I think, about
4 minutes and your brain's dead.
Yeah, exactly. 4 minutes for your brain to die, but you pass out a lot sooner than that usually.
Yeah. They ruled his death a homicide, and I think that's correct.
We know. I've read it. I know all this ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to exonerate them after the fact.
I'm not trying to. Oh, for heaven's sake, darling! Yeah, I feel like you haven't listened to a single word. I'm not trying to exonerate them. How many times do I have to say that the cops are in the wrong to use that move before those words get heard?
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, you heard it.
Then why are we arguing?
5, 10, 15, 20 minutes ago.
But why are we arguing then?
I really don't know at this point. Okay. I'm not putting all of the blame on the cops. I'm saying that it was a terrible accident and nothing happened the way that it should have.
Homicide is not an accident.
You can have negligent homicide.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the term manslaughter?
Okay,
that's a homicide.
Okay. All right, so, okay.
I see what he's said. Homicide means a person killed by another person.
The end.
It's the difference is the next step up is murder, and murder requires an intent. So clearly there was no intent.
Which is what I've objected to the entire time. People are saying these guys murdered him and they're racists and they're evil because they tried to kill him. Nonsense.
Okay, that I would agree with. I would agree that this whole the issues that this has raised about police brutality and questioning how these procedures are carried out is a valid one. That is a valid concern. But I would not agree that it was murder. No.
I've been following the story myself, and I take it under the idea that it was a fuck up, and I don't believe that the cops had any intent of killing the man. I'm sure that wasn't their intent, and they're probably not racist either. I think it was just a man who already had some pretty bad conditions to begin with, and them being a bit rough, and they fucked up. And homicide, but I don't think it was murder. I don't think they intended on killing him. And they fucked up with certain choice moves that they used. They fucked up. I think it's the best way of just summing it.
And let's not. And I'm not. Before anyone flips out and says I'm blaming the victim here, I'm not. Let's not forget the fact that Mr. Garner had ample opportunity to submit to arrest, and he didn't.
Yeah, and we know how scrappy some cops can be. And, at one point, especially if you have these conditions, don't put yourself through that shit, man. I mean, cops are already assholes. That's tongue in cheek, but some cops are assholes,
Let this be something used to educate people not to resist arrest.
And for the most part, I am one of those people who are that there are cops who will, and I was on the other side of this argument with the Brown case, but with this side of it, based on the evidence presented, based on what had occurred, I am on their side.
Yeah, if you cooperate, everything will turn out the way it needs to turn out.
Most of the time.
I tend to keep the idea that if some reason cops burst into my home and arrested me, I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna have my day in court, and I'm gonna find out later what the fuck's going on.
Yep, just put your hands up and go with it.
Because I know I haven't done anything, so why should I freak out anyway?
Exactly.
Number two, I will have my day in court. Now, if they beat the shit out of me, then there's a different story. But
yeah, they had no reason to believe he was selling cigarettes or doing anything illegal in the first place. He'd just broken up a fight.
Right.
It sounds like they had a reason to believe that he was because he had done it in the past, according to the dialogue in the video.
Right. And it just was a poor execution of an arrest that led to a man's death, and yeah, they ought to be punished for it because they knew better in certain choice actions, and they decided poorly to act pretty much against their fucking training, and so that. Yeah, they fucked up and they ought to be, punished for it. They ought to lose their fucking badge and their gun, and they ought to find a fucking job at a bar somewhere.
At the very least, I would say put him behind a fucking desk somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, give him a citation, take him off the streets for a while, give him additional training on how to handle people so that he doesn't use the chokehold.
Right.
Move on. Here,
I'm going to read something to you. Okay, Eric Garner, employed as a horticulturalist at the Department of Parks. He was a 350-pound, 43-year-old, 6'3" tall African-American man. He had been described by his friends as a neighborhood peacemaker and as a generous, congenial person. He had 6 children. Garner had been previously arrested and was out on bail for selling untaxed cigarettes, driving without a license, marijuana possession, and false personation.
Sounds like a lot more reason for him to cooperate.
Garner
it also sounds like the guy that lived next to me who killed his whole family.
That's
yeah.
Let her finish. I want to hear this.
Garner had a criminal record that includes more than 30 arrests dating back to 1980 on charges such as assault, resisting arrest, grand larceny. An official said that the charges include multiple incidents in which he was arrested for selling unlicensed cigarettes.
Resisting arrest.
Yeah, I get he was fighting back and shit and all, Yeah, just like how you pointed out, he more so reasons to fucking cooperate, and if you really honestly did nothing wrong, then just take it. What the fuck, Like, cops have no reason to beat me up because I'm not going to resist arrest. If they feel like they have to arrest me, I'm going to let them do their job. There might be a reasonable explanation behind everything. I'm not going to waste energy, time, nor am I going to risk my freedom acting an asshole because I've done nothing wrong. If I've done nothing wrong, I have no fucking reason to be an asshole. If they're mistaken, I'm going to let them realize that later. But, slamming my head on a car and shit, hopefully it doesn't have to come down to that because I'm not going to resist,
Yeah. It sounds like he's gone through a few arrests, so he should know enough about the process.
Yeah.
I have not. I've been arrested once, and it was a misunderstanding.
No, not you, Garner.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Disregard that statement.
Yeah, Eric Garner has gone through several arrests according to what you just read, so he should have known enough about the process to cooperate.
Of course.
That also explains why he was frustrated a little bit.
And a bunch of those charges were resisting arrest, and he got arrested anyway, which means you should have a clue as to how this ends.
Right.
If the cops want to take you in, they're going to.
Yeah.
This is I was watching Flex Your Rights. They say even with it, don't resist, and you don't have to submit to a sobriety test unless you're under arrest or being detained. So if he's going to arrest you, they're going to arrest you. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you act. You are simply giving them more stuff to work with.
Right.
That's why you stop talking completely.
Right. Yeah, it's I'm to the point where I study the fucking road laws here. I've been pulled over a few times over nonsense. Just because I guess a fucking cop is bored or something. And they'll do the whole thing, license and registration. I never crack that fucking window all the way down. I crack it just enough so I can hear the fucker. I'm gonna show you my license and registration through the motherfucking window. If you don't have a fucking camera phone on you, you better have a damn good memory and type it in your fucking machine. I'm not passing you a damn thing. I'm not obligated to, and I'm not. I'm going to exercise my right to not give you my fucking license and registrations. You just better take a good fucking glance at what you were supposed to be looking at. And that's legal. I can do that, And then I asked this guy, what am I being arrested for? And, we'll get to that. I just need your license. I'm like, no, am I being arrested? If he says no, that is my fucking cue to put the pedal to the metal.
That's actually your cue to say, am I being detained or am I free to go?
No, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah. Not a single one of us white people have to worry about that shit.
That I'm being arrested is not quite the same.
Well, I asked him, what am I being stopped for? Sorry, first, and he said he'd tell me second. I'm like, well, am I being arrested or am I free to go? And he said, well, I'm like, if you pull me over, there's had to be a reason. So if there's not a reason, then I'm free to go. I'm fucking going.
Being black. Sorry.
Being black.
Driving while black.
Being black
on a Tuesday.
Night. Yeah, man. I've been pulled over for being black on a Saturday night before.
Yep, and this is the video that I hope a lot of people watch.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's a good video. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. This is the one that people need to know, and this is your rights.
Oof, 38 minutes. I'll go through that later.
Yeah, it's interesting once you have time to actually watch it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Everyone should know about that.
Oh, yeah.
You only need 2 rules. Be polite and cooperate.
Right. And whip your lad out.
And whip your lad out.
In your car.
Don't whip it out outside the car.
Yeah,
take your lad out.
Lenny, that's gonna be like your token like advice for everything now. So like, we can be going to Starbucks, and I'm like, I don't know what I want a latte or something. And Lenny will be like, yeah, maybe get that latte, but make sure you whip your lad out.
I don't remember where it happened, but for some reason I have a feeling it was Florida. But someone took that advice. There was a dude running from 2 police officers and decided to distract them by lopping off his own junk and throwing it back at the police officer, hitting one of them in the face. At which time the police officers came to a full stop.
It worked.
That would make an interesting distraction, all right.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I would do if I seen that. I think I'll stop too.
He whipped his lad out off and flung it.
I would have said I would have said to my partner, yo, that's his dick. And yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done for today.
I think I need to sit down.
I googled it. I found you a link.
That's it, sir. You're under arrest. What? Now, what's your name? Duke? Well, it's Duchess now.
I would have been like, he won today. He got away. I'm going home. This is sad. And I would have smoked a bowl and reflect on my life. I smoke a bowl for every occasion.
2006 that happened.
Hey, Carson.
What's up, Jackie?
Hi, Carson.
How you doing?
A lot better. A lot
I
better.
didn't declare it a shuffle time once I got back here. I guess I don't need to.
Shuffle, baby. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
All good.
Man,
But yeah.
I was gonna say I smoke for every occasion, man. I smoke when I'm happy. I smoke when I'm sad.
I think the consensus is we should all basically flex our rights.
What is rating?
No. I think the final conclusion is that there's no way a bunch of retards on the internet can resolve issues like this.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Yep.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I've had enough of retards on the internet for one day.
Oh
I
God.
bet.
Man, I just met Forbidden Fruit today, and man, we've been talking for fucking hours, dude. That guy is awesome. He needs to start doing some of these.
Who? What?
Forbidden Fruit. That guy's awesome. Check out his channel.
Oh, okay. Something else to check out. Great.
And yeah, and if you're feeling adventurous, you can check out the Beautiful Reality channel.
No. We got 4 fucking viewers. I tell you what, advertise this shit to get enough people from your channel to watch this shit so they can then go back to your channel. How does that sound?
Yo, homie. Yo. Well, yeah, that sounds good. Give me your people and tell them to fling my way.
Your people?
I have 844 subscribers. I need a few more hundreds to get to the thousands, so I can feel like a big man.
Carson, if you could sound less like a pimp, please.
He can't. He's tried. He can't.
Maybe I need a few more hundreds now.
I need a few more hundreds so get up on my page. You know what I mean? Do shit right. No problem.
How does that phrase go? So to get some, what is it, G's on the bends or something like that?
Gotta put some D's on my beds.
Yeah. Oh, Lenny, have they told you about that?
Oh, I don't know if Lenny was in the hangout, but that was fucking hilarious.
I was in the hangout.
Oh, Lenny, you were in the hangout, were you?
I don't know that I was.
Carson was stoned off his ass, and he trolled this telemarketing scammer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, they did. It was great.
For the listeners who don't know, we did a hangout on one of my days off. I had a day off. I don't know what the fuck these dudes are doing. No. And a scammer telemarketer calls my cell phone, right? So I put it on speaker a few times, and he's asking questions. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "Your loan, Mr. Carson, has been approved." And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "My 50,000 approved." And he's like, "Yeah, it's been approved." And I was like, "Oh, awesome, man." He's like, "Hey, what did you need the money for?" And I'm like, "Well, I just got this brand new BMW. I'm trying to throw some D's on that bitch so I can get the bitches."
And then the guy is like, "You're approved for 5,000." Or something like that. It was some.
Like, how much do you make per year? About 80,000.
About 80,000.
And he got so mad when he figured out that Carson was fighting him.
And then the guy hangs up, calls him back, and says, "The FBI's on to you." Like, what?
Hey, it's on their way. I'm like, okay.
I said that to Carson, mind you.
What the fuck?
I'll say, okay, cool. I'll let you know when they get here.
Maybe I'll give him a ride in my Benz too.
Remember,
tell them
remember, the best way to hurt these people is to use as much time as possible, because every second you use costs them money.
One of my favorite things to do with telemarketers is to listen to their whole spiel and ask them every question I can think of about whatever the fuck it is they're selling. Everything I can do.
Well,
and once they're done or I'm out of questions, I thank them graciously. Thank you so much for taking this time out of your day to inform me of such a wonderful, great deal.
That's just the thing. This was clearly a scam. Periodically, they would drop connection and call back, almost like they were afraid of being traced.
Yeah. So, and then after thanking them, I try to sell them something.
Yeah, man. You try to do that, man. I've tried all kinds of shit, man. I tried the hold on my brother on the other line trick. I tried the the mocking them with their own accent trick.
You should probably try the. Hold on, you gotta talk to my brother.
Some of these people aren't actually allowed to hang up on you. The worst gag I ever played was one of those, and my ex looks at me. This was back when her and I were together. My daughter was probably about 1. And she looks at me and she points to the phone. I'm like, what? She's like, telemarketer. I said, give the baby the phone. My daughter, the baby, about 1 at the time, spent, I think, 2 hours going, gah, 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 at the phone, and they weren't allowed to hang up.
Aww.
And one I had the same telemarketer call
By the way,
me
those people
twice.
are all from India.
Oh yeah, almost every time.
Yeah, this one was too actually, but he was calling
You know what I'm saying?
Jim.
The people who can't hang up most likely will be from India.
This was about the year 2000, though, so they weren't in India yet.
This guy calls, he's like, this is Jim from such and such pharmacy offering me some kind of discounts on medication or something, which, whatever, I just hung up on him the first time. Second time was a week later, and I heard the same voice saying, this is Jim from such and such pharmacy, at which point I interrupted him, screaming, Jim, finally, what the hell, where are you? You're just now calling? We were expecting you here 2 hours ago. We have the altar set up. We need you here for the blood sacrifice. Where the fuck are you?
That's cute.
Yeah, man. This shit's fun, man. I'm good at the fucking prank calls, dude. I'm thinking about putting that in the fucking podcast. By the way, I'm gonna prank call some companies.
The best one is to call PETA and ask for a menu, or no, the ASPCA and ask for a menu. Try to order 3 pounds of pre-prepared golden retriever.
Dude.
Oh,
No. Wait. No dog jokes along those lines today. Jackie had a hard enough time earlier.
Perhaps you could call and ask for some exotic meats, like, you know where I can get giraffe?
Sure.
Like, call a zoo or something.
Okay, the kid's awake. Let's not talk about that part of the giraffe tonight, please.
You know what I did once though?
My financial.
No, I pranked a Chinese restaurant once. I'm like, yeah, y'all niggas got a shrimp fried poodle. It's like, what? Y'all got shrimp fried poodle? Y'all niggas got shrimp fried poodle? It's like, what? I was like, okay, never mind. Fuck that. Let's see.
Well, that's because there's something going. I know I must be hearing it wrong. There's no way he's saying that.
I was like, y'all got kitty soup?
Meow meow.
Right.
There's a place up north that would have said yes.
Yeah, they were like, "Sir, I don't know what you say." It was cute.
What you say?
Okay, there was an occasion years ago that I went to a Denny's, and
I'm fucking racist, by the way.
But anyway, there was an occasion years ago that I went to a Denny's, and the waitress sits there and she takes the order and writes the stuff down and brings it to the kitchen, and one of the cooks a little bit later goes, we can't do this, and she's like, what? I can't make this. And she looks at it and she goes, it's easy. You take it, you put it down on the grill, you put some butter down, you grill it for a couple of seconds, you're fine. And this guy just gives her this horrified look, and he's like, I can't do that. She's like, what? He's like, and he points to it, and she's like, what? It's a fried. Oh my gosh, I didn't write down bagel. She wrote down beagle. She was mortified, then came back and told us about it.
Yeah, man.
Poor cook, though. Oh, I can't do this.
Hey, Lenny.
I've got to quit.
Hey, Lenny, you want to know what the flavor of the week is right now?
What you got?
I got some grape ape.
Grape ape.
Ape, son. This shit is fucking wonderful. I've been on the spree of trying new weed strands that I haven't had yet. And grape ape is just so mellow, man. And it actually kind of tastes like grape. It's great. It's nice.
I'm glad you have access to so much stuff up there.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Colorado.
Yep, in Colorado. I have connects in Colorado. My buddy Ali, though, that guy. That dude.
I used to have a guy like that when I lived in Chicago. Can't get shit out here.
I'm always making fun of my buddy Ali because he looks like
This
Prince.
is Washington.
Oh yeah. Maybe actually. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm always making fun of my buddy Ali because he looks like Prince. And every time I see him, I'm
That's
like,
a good reason to make fun of somebody.
every time I see him, I'm like, purple rain, purple rain. He's like, fuck you, Alex.
Oh, you gotta look like Prince, huh?
Every time I
You
look
gotta
at
be
him,
Prince.
he's like staring off in space. I feel like he's about to ask if he wanted us to, swim in Lake Minnetonka or something. Like, the guy he just looks just like fucking Prince. Guess what I convinced him to be this Halloween, though?
Michael Jackson?
Fuck Prince.
Guess.
I convinced him to be Prince, and he looked just like him. He's so short, just like him, too. I was like, dude, you could do a concert and people would never know.
You might know.
People might,
might know.
he's the same height. He's a shrimp like fucking Prince is.
Just out of curiosity, Lee, what's with the new GIMP mask?
Just trying something new.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, my fucking connection.
My internet.
Okay, alright.
Not
Something
my
about
internet.
Oh, Lee ain't wearing no.
Ah, my internet. No.
Is that some fried internet?
What?
Oh God.
Man. Where the fuck did he go? Come back, Lenny! Come back, motherfucker.
Oh, okay, it seems like we're dealing with that giraffe today, after all.
Yeah.
His lady stole him.
Can I say hi to Boom again? Boom, hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
I fucking-
I'm just looking up stock prices.
Nah,
Mapping.
I fucking miss you, man.
Okay, so since you've been dealing with Gamersgate for a prolonged period of time, I'm guessing that the stock prices you're looking for has something to do with insider information you've gotten as a result of spending too much time talking about that?
Actually, it's more about how their stock prices is just fucking.
Oh, okay. How did I know?
But yeah, it's kind of obvious. It's watching the BM stock just go clump.
Hey, come on,
With all the adverts pulled out.
Moving up slowly.
And all the adverts, including investors, do not want to touch them.
What a mess.
Anyway.
Nah, Vic, you look way too much like fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
He knows.
And like a grandma's bathroom poster of Jesus, you know what I mean?
Wait. Why would somebody want to...
Because we must have Jesus in literally every room of the house. You must be reminded that Jesus watches you when you're in the shower, when you take a piss, when you take your lad out.
Don't you want to shower in Jesus' holy water?
That's creepy.
Jesus watches you masturbate. Just keep that in mind.
That only helps.
I know, right?
Jesus is
So
watching you
encouraging.
glitter bait.
I'm like, you wanna show there, Jesus? Huh? You wanna get
Wanna
a
show.
hand job, huh? Huh? Wanna give me a sandy handy? You guys know what that is? You guys know what a sandy handy is?
Oh dear.
That's when you get a hand job at the beach.
Oh, see, I misunderstood, and I already superglued the sandpaper to my hand.
When you say super glue,
that could probably work too, I guess.
that
I
hurt.
got the extra course, don't worry.
Oh god, scrub. Ew.
Oh,
Don't
You're already
worry,
getting
I
Carson
won't
Wentz.
grip down though. I'll just slide across.
No. God. You scared X away.
Yeah.
Lenny, get your ass back up in here.
You went to bed.
You went to bed, yeah.
You muffin.
So you went to bed.
Yeah, well, that
You
just
went to Jamie.
mean that. Never mind.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Not imply sleep in this case.
I am fucking out of space right now. God damn. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pack my out of space. You in your face.
Have you seen that, Carson? Have you seen that video at Cosmos on weed?
Yes.
Carson.
That's the best shit.
Carson, you are now craving Crunch Berry Captain Crunch.
No, he's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm crunching right there. Sure.
Let me tell you about space.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. Yeah.
Carson.
Yo.
Are you planning on sharing those with the group, or just making as much noise as you can with them?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm
so sorry. I'm digging in the bag for a piece.
I'll be right back.
He has to eat the chips in a specific order, and the first one fell to the bottom.
Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, what he said. Okay.
No, my bad. That was the plastic bag in which I keep the perp. In which I keep the grape ape contained in.
Grape ape! It's gonna grape you!
Oh god. That's a slogan right there for like a grape soda. It's gonna
grape you in the mouth.
That is so perfect. It should be called purple stuff.
Get worse. We just found out.
It should be called purple stuff. It'll grape you in the mouth. That's definitely targeted at like, older teenagers.
Oy vey.
Oy vey. Oy vey. What's wrong, Jackie?
I'm just not feeling that great today.
Aww. Been a long day, bad day.
It became a long day.
Man.
I don't even know how to respond.
Okay.
It's not
You know what? Me after a long day, Jackie.
What?
Weed.
Hi.
Well, I'm sure I'll allegedly have plenty of it in a few weeks.
I'm gonna try to outdo Kevin. I don't know how much he's planning on having, but I'm gonna fucking try to, without being busted at Greyhound.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Colorado in a few weeks. For the first time. Well, yeah.
The very first time.
Yeah. No, actually, I've been, like, in all seriousness, I've been to Aspen. It's really pretty. Aspen, Colorado.
I bet. I wanna go to Aspen.
A really nice ski town.
I wanna go snowboarding in Aspen, but I feel like I'm gonna bust my ass and probably die.
Yay, I found the cave. Oh, I'm playing Minecraft.
Nice.
Mine.
What you been up to? Boom.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was
What you been up to?
same old. Exploring new regions of the internet. Talking to developers. It's been pretty neat.
You fucking disappeared for a while, man.
Yeah, I work on websites.
Nice.
Actually destroying one of the people who were trying to bring up a website concept because they weren't able to handle the responsibility of it.
Damn. That's a serious ass job, fam.
Yeah, they already had 20 days to work on understanding their own idea, and they got nothing. Yeah.
And they're already asking for $50K.
Huh?
Was it like make video games or something, man?
No, it was a website.
Oh,
Like Metacritic.
Oh, that's just a website. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, $50K.
I'm thinking maybe you're making a website for a company that's making like a fucking game or something.
No, I'm making a website. I'm not charging.
Yeah.
They wanted to charge for their website $50K.
Yeah. And they charge you, or they
No,
charge...
the public.
Oh, okay, yeah, they can suck a duck.
Yeah.
Man, them cats can sick a duck, man.
Okay.
Lee, how's it going, Lee?
Not bad. How you doing, Carson?
Fucking Stone Pony. Stone Pony.
Ponies.
I am scared. I am scared. Can't you tell?
And it's official, the
Giggles. Holy shit.
Was that supposed to be a British accent, or was that like?
It was a British accent.
Or was that the verbal representation of puppies or something like that?
No, that's just me being stern.
Stern Pony.
I am stern Pony.
I think you may be a truffle fucked up there, mate.
No, I am just stern Pony. Letter J.
Oh my god, when I'm having a bad day, I just need to go to Carson.
Yeah, man. I get the party pop.
And Kevin, obviously.
You know,
I'm
Kevin,
not as funny.
Kevin's second banana. Yeah. He's the sidekick.
What are you saying about my banana?
Hey.
Hey, nobody's
That's right,
talking
I've got a
about
headache.
Boom. No, I almost said something that should not have been said. I'm not
Many things that should not be, and most of them come from the mouth of Carson.
Yeah, those are all details you should figure out when you guys meet up.
You know what? Both of you things, alright? You're gonna get it.
What?
What?
What are they gonna get?
I'm
no.
actually kind of confused.
I am too, Jackie.
He is hitting that.
He doesn't know.
He's
He doesn't know
gone.
what he's saying.
I'm gone, boo.
I think Carson's implying that Jackie and I are going to get it somehow, because I have to put Carson up at my place for 2 nights.
I met the squirrel and the Viking over there.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Those things.
Those things.
They exist.
They exist. Those things, they exist.
Oh, wait. Does anybody know offhand how far we are into the hangout, time-wise?
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yay,
1 minute 38 seconds. No, sorry. 1 hour 38 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, hang on.
I was about to say, holy shit, this is.
Oh, hush, hang on. Alex Barton. Okay, you can continue.
Hi, Botten. Go fuck yourself, you poor, sorry.
Wait, what
little
happened?
man.
What happened? What?
That was his mandatory Alex Botten reference.
Okay, hold on. Can we just not talk about this right now?
Aww. What?
Here, Carson, I'm going to give you a link to a hangout that Botten did on his channel earlier today. Watch it from 1 hour in.
You know what? I definitely will. And was that the one where it's like fucking fundies, something like that? Bring it on, fuck with fundies.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was the one called First Annual Go Fuck Yourself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was referring to.
Oh, okay.
He was supposed to have fundamentalists on his channel today, but instead he got 13 Kevin and I.
He cleared his block list and gave the link out.
Okay.
I'm seething mad at how we were treated in there. Fucking assholes.
Yeah, well, they don't really have any fundies to pick on anymore, do they?
I think you've wanted
I guess not, man.
But in any case, that was stated by Nodvik a moment ago. Yes, that is indeed the one obligatory mention. Saying,
Yeah.
You know, last time I checked, there were still botanites that were checking to see if his name was mentioned. So I have to make sure it's mentioned once.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't want them to sit there and feel like they're wasting their time after all.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I moved on to a different subject entirely.
Well, you know, I try to be somewhat considerate.
You know, I made sure that I tried to defend you, Boo, when they were trying to jump on you with that stupid shit. I don't understand what the fuck got into them, but I respectively replied to Biden about that, and
Yeah, watching the hangout I just linked you is gonna piss you off. I'm just warning you. It's gonna really piss you off.
you know, okay, I'm gonna definitely watch it. Like his initial reaction was pretty snappy. I mean, I was like, well, I'm just trying to bring to you how you're coming after someone who genuinely has no issue with you, and it's just crazy. I mean, I recently blocked Douglas because he's a fucking asshole, and God, he's a fucking moron. Oh.
What were they coming after me for?
That was some time you got into some tiff with, well, Biden got into a tiff. It seemed like you didn't really understand how pissed they were at you because you're living your life.
I was moving the fuck on to real topics, into like the real life.
I know. It didn't faze you a bit. And it's because you didn't see it as a big deal, and I thought that was great. And
oh, you mean the whole Ranism thing?
Yeah.
So they're in this hangout that you linked me. That's the 6th. They talk about that shit?
No. That was just me
reminiscing.
But this new hangout pretty much stems from that, though.
Oh wait, really?
In a way.
Well,
it's it's the.
It was brought up.
That
Biden was doing his little weasel thing.
I'm not sure I was paying that much attention at that point.
Us against them mentality, you know.
Man.
I don't give two shits about them. I'm literally working on a business and working on with people in an industry who have been isolated and ostracized. I could give two shits about people like Biden.
Oh,
I could give two shits about religion.
I care about them either. It doesn't faze me either what they think of me, but when they made Jackie cry, I got mad.
I understand that. I understand that.
That shit is what pisses me off. Was that today at this hangout?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you said yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit is fucking ridiculous.
That's why I didn't know how to reply when you asked about my day.
Oh, okay. What did they say? What the hell?
Just watch it. I don't want to talk about it. It was disgusting.
If it's so bad, you know what I'm gonna promise you. If it is that bad, I'm gonna make a response video.
Feel free.
And the response video would be on Monday. Release on Monday when I have a day off. I'll write the script and everything. But if it's that bad, that's what I would do. If I feel like it's something that's
go watch it. Draw your own conclusions.
For sure. Yeah, man. I still respect Biden, but every day that's just thing.
No, like we had a hangout after that in just our little group, and Fiona and Epi were both in there, and Rose, and pretty much all of us said the same thing, that we like Botten. We think he's got something to contribute, and he's clearly has some mental issues. And the people he's surrounding himself with, like Mark and Wayne and James Manfield, are just not good for him.
Yeah.
Are probably hurting him, and he wouldn't be this way if he wasn't around them.
Well, I don't know. In my case, I don't really know Botten that well. Not likely to at this point. And frankly, I don't know which one, before, after meds, mid-meds, whatever the hell. I don't know which one is the proverbial real Alex. I don't know.
Pretty much what everybody, including Fiona, said was that he's changed a lot recently in a bad way. It's disappointing, and what I saw today was just unforgivable.
When I was new to this particular community, and I really don't remember how I even got into this community, to be honest. But I guess a lot of my content would be a contributing factor. But when I got here in this community, Botten was very respected. And he was very respected, and he was a sensible guy. But then there is like a strange thing going on here, they accepted me in the it's supposed to be a secret Facebook group, but fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, they were accepting of me too.
Right.
I did quite a bit for them behind the scenes back in August or March and April when Brett Keane was up to his shit, like archiving videos and trying to keep track of what was going on.
Yeah.
And then things just got weird.
Yeah.
Things got toxic. Like in the last few months, things got really toxic.
Yeah. And I met a lot of you guys around that time,
Yeah.
At first I was, a frequent guest on my buddy's podcast, but he didn't keep it up, He was fresh out of a crazy occultish type religion. It was a Christian denomination. But that's just I'm rambling. But what the fuck was I going with this? What was I saying?
How did you get in this community?
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, well, I was saying like when I got in this community, Botten is very respected, but yeah, it is like he changed, and I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I gotta see that video because the idea of them insulting Jackie pisses me off just thinking about it, and I'm almost reluctant not to see it, but I'm going to. I will see it.
Yeah, I'm not watching it again, but go ahead and watch. They also Prudent was in there as well. They were trying to basically use him, saying that what we were saying is invalid because of how Prudent is treated in Shuffle sometimes, which has nothing to do with that. And to its credit, Prudent went in there and clarified things.
Oh yeah, I gotta give the boy kudos. Which reminds me, Lenny's gone to bed.
You can invite him if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have Prudent.
I just did not want the two of them in the same room. Not tonight, at least. So he is now officially on the invite list.
They're still hung up over the cat thing? Jesus Christ, that's fucking old. They really, really must be out of shit.
What cat thing?
Shenny's cat.
Oh. Yeah, I
they're fucking. It's done. Like you're done.
Shanny's been sweet lately, but I
haven't heard anything about her.
Well, she's actually been shockingly sweet lately, and I think she's trying to work on herself with her fat ass. I'm sorry.
No, what I'm saying is like if you're reminiscing that far back. Yeah, you're done. You're no longer a show.
Yeah.
That means show's over. You should move on.
Right.
It really is time to move on from the relationship. Or at least find something fucking relevant that affects society.
You know what a young buddy of mine recently said. He's my coworker, and he kind of looks up to me. He's a Mexican kid. Kind of going through it rough with his parents, and he looks up to me, and we talk all the time, He's Catholic, but he's 20. You know, he's 20 years old. He's Catholic. He's quite naive about other beliefs, and he doesn't quite he doesn't quite understand why he don't quite take it seriously as everyone else does. And I talked to him about that, and I was talking to him about what atheist is, and he had his preconceived notions because of what his pastor told him, and I clarified some things, and he's agreed that everything I said makes sense, and that he may be atheist himself, and the guy next day he comes up and he's like, Alex, man, what really convinced me that I don't need this God to be happy is seeing how peaceful you are. And and I was like, I appreciate that, man. He's like, you're so peaceful, man. I never met anyone so fucking peaceful in my life. This guy is he's astounded at how fucking peaceful I am, man.
Was that just you naturally, or did you get a little help with being with that?
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but
Kevin, man, it's a shuffle. Just bring it up, and no questions asked later.
I'm naturally peaceful, you know what I mean. But with the weed, I'm extra peaceful, which is scary to some people.
Peaceful.
So
hold on, Eureka, I'm gonna say
I had a guy jump up in my face today at work. Very stupid story, and I'm too stoned.
Hold on a second, Jackie wants to say.
Hold on, Prudy, thank you so much for going on into the hangout earlier and clarifying things.
Yeah,
I gotta give you credit for that. Those guys they were just trying to use you. They don't really care about how you feel.
I know.
If they didn't have beef with me and 13 and Lenny, they would have thought that what happened in that shuffle was just as funny as we did.
Oh yeah. I know like this, and to be fair, I've had issues like, especially with Mark and Wayne this week. Me and Epi kind of had a back and forth with them, and they were just acting like looked like 14-year-olds. I mean. And I'm just, I was actually Facebooking Epi about this, and it's like, is this for real right now? Are we really arguing with people who are acting like children, and these are grown-ass men?
Yep. That's what we've been dealing with for the past couple months. There's a lot of ugly stuff that's been going on behind the scenes.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I was surprised how nice Botten was in this case, but I know
aggressive.
Yeah, that he is. I know. Look, I don't know. I mean, I overheard you guys, like you said, would he be this way if it wasn't maybe, like, if he didn't have bad influence from, the other people? I mean, I think it's those three people, like Mark, Wayne, and Jamps. Like, especially Jamps. I mean, like, that thing that he did to Jackie I thought was completely uncalled for, where he was teasing her about the whole puppy affection thing.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Oh, I know. I could pretty much tell. You probably wanted to punch me.
Did you catch when I muted him? I muted him, and he got so mad. He was like,
"Yeah,
you mute me again. What are you gonna do, internet tough guy? What are you gonna do?"
I know. And then what I thought was weird, like Bod just came out of nowhere, and then just says, "Oh, I'm just also gonna get rid of 13 because he's being so self-righteous." Like that was like
he got rid of me before that, and I kind of thought that was fun because I was kind of looking for it.
Well,
it kind of weakened his position, throwing me out so fuck it, all good.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think I'm the only one of the group that actually enjoyed the hangout.
The thing is, I know you talk about like Botten did when I first came here back in February. I mean, Botten was kind of a big name. I mean, because he always went up against all the pre-subs. It's like now since then, it's like what the fuck happened?
No, we were in an off-air with Fiona and a bunch of other people after that happened, and she's been a target of. If you knew everything that those people did to Fiona, you would be mad because I know you respect Fiona a lot.
I know. I've seen some of this. I don't know everything that's happened to Fiona, but I know she's been putting up with a lot of shit from them.
She said like they've changed. Even like Mark and Wayne have changed a lot for the worse. Like I remember they weren't always like that. They were pretty cool guys.
Me and Mark, I met Mark through Twitter first. and it just so happened that we had a mutual friend that, you know, we didn't know. I had a fling with one of his friends, and we were cool. He was so cool then, and he's different, you know. I seen him in action on Twitter plenty of times, and he's able to handle himself great, you know, without, you know, name calling and being petty and shit. And he used to just be this patient, respond guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird now.
I think what it is, and I can't speak on behalf of them, or I can't know exactly what's going on, but this is just my assessment. I think they're just addicted to drama. Like they really kind of hit like back in March and April, and I think it kind of continued on throughout the summer. It's like now that the drama was starting to kind of die out because we had a lot of the bad members leave. It's like they're so used to this, they have to sort of create their own drama. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's exactly pretty much how I see the whole thing. If they don't have drama, they need to manufacture it. And if they don't have fundies to attack, they'll attack moderate theists, they'll attack moderate atheists.
Oh, what the fuck is that supposed to, does that even mean anyway?
Because that hangout reminded me of like a Rand Campbell, one of his fucking mock trials or whatever, you know, sort of the same fucking idea. Bullshit.
Except Rand will admit that it's just a joke.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
They actually meant it.
Yeah.
I kind of saw this coming because I noticed, like, I got this on my Google Plus feed a lot. Like, I noticed that, like, guys like Mark and Wayne, like, they were starting to kind of go after people like Nate Cunningham and Phony Beatlemaniacs. So I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm just looking at this and thinking, okay, I'm not liking where this is going because some of their arguments like weren't too bad, but then I'm thinking, okay, it's obvious that like they took Nate Cunningham's argument out of they took it out of context or they misrepresented him in some way. Like sometimes I would see that, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, like, and this was a few months ago, and I'm thinking this might not get too much worse, and then when I realized it now is coming after Fiona, it's like, yep, here's where the shit's gonna hit the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Prudent. Hey, Prudent.
No. You call me Vanilla Prudent, Alex. Come on, man. That's how
Oh,
Vanilla Prudent.
Hey, Vanilla Prudent.
Only Alex is allowed to call me that, people.
Hey, Vanilla Prudent.
Yes.
If I stuck my dick in your eye, would you see that coming?
It's a shuffle. You can say anything you want.
I don't know. It is pretty big. I'd hope you see it coming.
But I probably wouldn't appreciate it, and I would hope nothing more would happen after that, because I'm pretty sure you know after me enough, I'm pretty straight, man.
Alex, which
does not care what your orientation is.
Whether he sees it coming or not, it's more up to you, isn't it, Alex? How you sort of feel after you put the member in the socket?
Wait a minute. If you're worried about him seeing it coming, you've got a problem, Alex. I thought that you were making claims in the other direction. Or does it have a cloaking device?
I've kind of mastered cloaking my dick in my pants.
I don't buy it.
It's kind of weird.
But that reminds me of the. Should I post that screen cap I took from Kagito of Gary saying he wanted to have eye socket sex with Shanna?
Wait, Phony Beatlemaniac said that?
Yeah, in a Skype group.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he was drunk. He was probably drunk, so I'll give him a
Why
pass.
even say eye socket sex? Let's just say Shanna Rocky is just an insanely hot woman. Okay, like they're just.
No one's arguing with that. It's just the way that he said it was just like what?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, that is such a weird side of him. God damn.
The weird thing about Shanna is like, to me, I know she sometimes smokes on camera. Smoking to me is like a big turn off. Like I'm really turned off by that. With Shanna, I don't know what
about it. She's
what?
classy. She's classy.
Yeah.
Turn off. Turn it off. Yeah.
Hey, Boom.
Oh, man. Are you high, Carson?
No, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, Carson, you would never do that. Man.
Right. Come on, nigga. Why would you even play me? Y'all do me like that, baby? Huh?
I did see a little bit of the earlier hangout, the one where I think you guys just kept harping at Lenny with the whole what was it? The whole cop thing.
Booga booga.
Yeah, that was that got a little
one of
messy. I
those-
was kind of glad to have to go to the store, frankly.
That's one of his pet topics.
The weird thing is, I actually, this might sound because I don't know if I'm fully reconciled with him. Like, I don't know if I really have any plans to, but I actually sort of agreed with him for the most part. But he just got like really out of hand, like so quickly.
It's something he gets passionate about. We all have our pet topics.
Yeah.
Well, he was passionately on the before side, but this time he actually had a coherent argument on the whole thing.
Yeah.
To why instead of just, I know cops, and I feel they wouldn't be doing this. And it's like, dude, you gotta give something better than that. It was more clear onto what the people were presenting than it was what you were presenting. But this time, yeah, it was kind of clear as the video.
Boom! I haven't talked to you in a long time. How you been?
Hey, you know what? Neither have most of us.
Being busy.
What? So have I.
Boom,
Haven't
man.
missed you, man.
Hey, Boom, when we gonna hang out and shit, dude?
Dude, we can always hang out. I'm all over the place, and you always see me in Skype. You can always message me.
Hey, man, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
It's actually
always.
Carson, with the way you're kind of slurring over there, I'm wondering if you're going to remember this conversation.
Oh man. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna remember the conversation.
Remembers.
It's kind of nice to be one of these because I've been like so knee deep in schoolwork this past week, and then I got finals next week. You wanna know what I did? This might sound crazy, but last Sunday night, I pulled off an all-nighter working on a stats project. I worked for 9 hours straight. No. This is the weird part, and this is the part that actually makes me happy in the end. One of them was to actually help a friend of mine because her computer kind of took a shit on her, so I had to plug in her data into the program, and that took me more time than it should have. Now the thing is, it's the girl I like in my stats class, and let's just say after that, I gave myself a really good name.
You entered that data real slowly, is that what you were saying?
Entered her slowly, what?
So she was blowing you, and you're.
Point is, I helped her with a big project. Okay.
Helped her with a big project. That's another euphemism.
Project. Tell us more about how big the project was.
How hard was it to work in?
You constructed her databases, covered them all.
Yeah, it hasn't gone that far yet.
Oh, okay, right.
I like big databases.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. I've just been asked a question. I have no idea how I deal with this sober.
So you didn't go that far. You pulled out the zip drive before, you know.
By the way, Q&A is open if anyone wants to add in the comment section wants to add any commentary. Feel free.
Does anyone want to ask a question?
If any of y'all Moors want to ask me a question,
oh God,
go ahead and do so. Talk to me, baby.
Just call it the Ask a Question app.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't give G-Man any more money.
Talk to me, baby.
Can we not bring up that name, please? Like,
if there's any sexy listeners and watchers out there who perhaps maybe want to meet me, come talk to me. Right here in the Sunday Shuffle, baby.
You can all feel free to subscribe to Beautiful Reality on YouTube.
I really hope I get you in February.
I told you that I was going to take you to lunch or dinner, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Oh, when is that going to happen?
Whenever they come Arizona-wise.
Whoa, you're in Arizona? I'm
Yes,
in
I am.
Arizona.
Where?
Chandler, you?
Shut up, Tucson.
Oh, fuck. Damn. Oh, Tucson? Get out of here. Come on.
Yeah.
Phoenix Valley rules.
I'm not from here. I just live here.
Born and raised in Chandler, I lived the Phoenix Valley life. You know, and the whole point about living in the Phoenix Valley is you can't like the Tucson Valley.
Fair enough. Okay.
You know what's sad about that? About you guys being in Arizona?
What?
Pillbox living.
Oh, please don't mention that name either.
Oh, it gets even worse. There's a lot of idiots that live in Arizona. It gets even worse.
Think about it, Gretchen.
You
The
know who
longer
else lives
you
in
stay
Arizona?
there, the longer you stay there, the longer you go shopping, grocery shopping, whatever you gotta do when you're living there. You might just run into pillbox.
I think
Well, never know.
I don't think she'd have to worry about that because I think Pillbox, at least from the background I've seen of him, I think he lives like in Phoenix Valley. I'm not gonna. That's just a speculation. I think I'm more likely to run into him.
Is Arizona so large that you can't go from one valley to the other?
It takes an hour and a half.
Are there checkpoints?
It's not Canada. You're so funny.
There's two densely populated valleys, the Phoenix Valley and then there's the Tucson Valley. Everything north of that is rural area, okay? Flagstaff might be a little densely populated, but not that much. Everything else pretty much rural.
Tucson's cooler because it's older and we're closer to Mexico.
Yeah,
I have relatives in
Tucson. Come on. There's a lot of insults I usually like to throw at Tucson, but because Gretchen's in the hangout, I'm going to be nice.
No, because I'm not from here, so it's not my fault.
I'm still. Just for the sake of it.
Okay, you're boring the audience.
Hey, Prudy, did you know there's actually a Kevin Buchik that goes to your school?
Yeah,
he's my cousin. Story. Yeah. Oh, I did. Did I? Yeah, he's my cousin.
Cool. Maybe I'll run. I wouldn't know if I ran into him.
Yo.
Why would you know if you ran over him?
Yeah.
And into. Oh boy.
Yo.
So, yeah, Alex, man. Like I said, yeah. What am I saying? Yeah. Carson, I really hope to see you in Arizona again. If you come in February, that would be like the most awesome thing ever.
Most awesome thing ever, dude. You need to live more. It's just Carson.
Okay, should we?
Is Epi still planning on getting out here though too with you?
Yeah, Effie and Carson, like the two of them, if the three of us got together, that'd be freaking sweet.
Yeah, man, get the pussy lined up, man.
Now, for the record, I have a chance with this girl on my stats class, so I'm just gonna keep trying there.
Nigga.
Fuck up.
Some pussy, dude.
No pressure. Don't worry. If you fuck up, there's plenty more girls out there.
Yeah, I know. But my point is, I'm actually the thing is this. I actually think this girl likes me. To be honest, I'm starting to get that impression.
Well, that's good. Just you keep being the sweet guy you are, and
don't read into it too much.
Yeah.
I've done that, and it doesn't end well.
Yeah, don't read into too much.
I'm just saying, like, I'm really sympathetic because last time we had it, she kind of was a little flirty, and I enjoyed that. But I don't know, like.
Just remember, if she's being flirty with you, that means you should probably, try to show interest at the same time.
Yeah, I think I have. I sort of have, at least hinted.
No, just continue down the road, dude.
Yeah,
Just
you don't want
continue down the road.
to jump. You don't want to jump straight into makeout because.
Did I ever say I would?
Back in
No. All I'm saying is, if she's flirting with you, continue down that route, while it's still happening, and see what happens.
Actually,
just be yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. And I know this might be hard for you, but try not to be too awkward.
Wait! You just told him to be himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh god. Well, the thing is,
that's all good.
I'm actually pretty calm, like around. That's usually where I'm a little bit more calmer. That's the weird thing. I mean, I'm at least open. Like, I'm at least, to be honest, I tend to be pretty open. Like, if I'm talking to her, it's like, okay, I'll be open about things I'm very insecure about.
Like open or like wide open?
Oh, God, it's not like that.
I'm pretty open.
Take your lad out.
The thing is, yeah, I actually, I thought, it was appropriate, and it totally wasn't worked, but I sort of, we were working on another project together. I sort of made a penis joke, and it actually was a good conversation starter.
Okay, if it worked for you,
amazing. You're set up for the friend zone.
Are you gonna share the? Are you gonna share the joke?
It really wasn't a joke. All I did was we were doing a stats project because it was a stats class, and you know those correlation graphs like where there's like a bunch of little dots.
Like when you
And one of them, it was shaped a little bit like a penis, all of them, and I basically just point out like, hey, I'm not sure, I should probably go there, but this thing looks a little bit like a penis, and then she's like, well, no, it's not because there's no balls to it. And I say, well, you don't need a ball. It's not important to put a ball for a penis drawing, okay? It's not. Surprisingly, that then led to a weird argument of some sort. That's right.
Oh, that's funny.
It's the way you said it was funny.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is funny.
Completely.
Yeah.
I still have it.
I want to hear that conversation in a romantic comedy.
I think you just did.
No, you'd be surprised. Like we both had a pretty good laugh out of it. That's the weird thing.
I'm glad to hear that. If it works for you, that's great.
The way you said it, just like that, how you said it out, then yes, that was funny.
Like penis. Like penis.
The way your voice, like, that when you say that is so fucking funny.
Carson, you're high. Everything's funny to you. Right?
I know this, but I love you. I love you. I know this, but I love you, boy.
Carson.
What's up?
That's relief. I walked away for a minute, came back, and Prudence was not oversharing. Rock on.
Alright.
He kind of for a while. It was close.
Faithless.
Yes.
You think you could do a rap cover of Sleeping Giant?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think I'm not that good.
You did okay with Preacher's a Liar?
Yeah, arguably.
You made a reference about my big penis.
I knew you'd like that.
I don't know, man. With the comments you made earlier, I'm starting to become skeptical.
I don't know how I feel about this.
You're not supposed to feel about this. It's just safer that way.
Oh, just I'm actually screen sharing it right.
Graph.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe a little bit. That's a skinny one though.
That's kind
I know. It's like a pencil. It's like a pencil dick.
It's like
uncircumcised.
It's like a
Once.
It's a turtleneck.
Just once I love to have a shuffle in which nobody brings up that particular topic.
Oh.
No, I don't know if you saw the one a few nights ago, but we spent it was deleted since, but we spent like an hour talking about penis.
No, no. It still exists. It's just 18 plus. It still exists, dude.
Oh, I thought you deleted it. Okay.
Oh no,
cool.
No, it's just 18.
Oh, then it's in my playlist.
That's your problem.
Man, I'm DJ Booty Snatcher, man. I would have been great in that topic.
You were referenced once.
You were referenced several times.
What was I referenced as exactly?
The yardstick. I'm not repeating it.
The yardstick.
These fucking people made me a unit of measurement. I don't appreciate that.
No, your unit is a unit of measurement. There's a difference.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I made your unit a unit of measurement.
Maybe that's
also the only Google Hangout in which I've ever disclosed my size and probably ever will.
You've already. That's a surprise. I've probably done that a couple of times, I think.
Yes, unfortunately.
Wait, Jackie, were you there for that particular one?
Yes.
Okay, so you're there when Kevin said something he shouldn't have, right?
Shouldn't have.
Okay, just making sure.
Maybe my next.
If not, you might want to review that part.
Wait, are you talking about when you disclosed?
Yeah, anyway.
No, I already knew his size.
13.
Never trolling hard. Okay.
Hold on. I think my next line towards Stats Girl should be, "Hey baby, just let you know, I'm half a Carson Long."
Oh, that's
not
not brag about.
That's the part that kills me. What the hell exactly is half a Carson? I don't understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
take Carson, cut it in half, and that's it, and then you giggle.
I'm 9. Like, I'm 9.
I know. I actually used you as a reference point because I was not going to state myself.
So what's? I'm too high to figure this out right now. What's half of 9?
4.5.
Oh,
You
just be low
should
average.
probably say younger than that.
Right, but let's be scientific. What's the speed of light measured in Carsons per second?
Oh, that's funny. We could actually calculate that.
That would be ridiculously like.
You can calculate it. I don't want to.
My
How long does
dick would be like in the atmospheres.
Carson's thing to his tip?
A piece of my dick would be in like other galaxies.
How many Carsons?
Why are we talking about this?
How many Carsons?
Because it's a freaking shuffle. At this hour, it always comes up whether I want it to or not. Oh wait, I shouldn't have said.
Systems check. Systems
Comes up.
Comes up. My bad. Sorry.
When he gets to Arizona, Epi will have traveled how many Carsons?
I think we'll need fucking order of magnitude there.
Never mind, I'm 6/10 of a Carson. So,
Dirty.
Now Carson keeps saying he's taking a bus, but we know the truth. He's going to pole vault.
oh, that's even better. So wait, you're gonna take a bus to Arizona? Man, I'll pick you up from the airport, man. Like I said,
I take off like.
Just like I said, just don't try to smuggle weed through airport security, man. I'm not gonna be accountable for you, man.
Oh, you wouldn't be.
No.
That would be on him.
Yeah. Trust me, I've done it plenty.
He's like, I'm an expert.
No, there are some weird ways in which people smuggle drugs through themselves. I mean,
guys, come on, enough with this topic. Move on to the next. Shuffle.
Okay.
Oh, shuffle.
Hi, Jordy.
You guys remember Shani's cat? Shani's cat is awesome.
That is so fucking
I will
cool.
hurt you.
I don't know. I can't believe they fucking go back that much. Jesus Christ.
Jordy, what's up, buddy?
And lo and behold, boom has been set off again.
Dude, seriously, like, dude, how fucking done are you?
with that drama, pretty done.
No, I'm talking about just like done with everything religion related.
Oh, I'm getting there. Don't trust me. I'm pretty done. I already stepped down from the leadership of the campus group, the atheist group that I was in.
Yeah, I've been done for a while.
Yeah. That's why I focus on something else.
Even I'm starting to kind of get sick of it, and I mean, like, I might go back to doing hangouts on religious topics, but like, I just don't want to get there for a while.
The cool thing is about our group is that this group of friends, this corner of the Great Debate community, isn't only connected by religion and Great Debate community drama.
Yeah, we have other things to talk about.
Yeah, it is how we all met, but at least we have like other things we can.
And the difference between like us and Fundamentally Flawed is we actually do stuff for fun. Like we play Minecraft and Drunk Bears together and 12th Tribe and other stuff. Their idea of entertainment is watching Jason Burns videos and getting pissed off.
You know, I just don't understand how you can watch the fucking Jason Burns video long enough to get offended. I just
don't you get it? Out of all the
Carson,
huh?
Do you ever consider just like going through a bunch of Jason Burns video while fucking high and just try to figure out the experience?
Fuck no.
Why would you want to harsh a buzz like that?
How high do you gotta be, man? Like to just.
Why would you waste?
That's what I just said. Why harsh a buzz on that?
I could watch a Rancam hangout and be more entertained than that shit.
I can't be high enough to watch a Jason Burns video. I'm sorry.
No, trust me. I have tried. I have tried to do exactly that and see if it helps. It really, with a few exceptions, no, it really doesn't. It doesn't.
You know that
He-Man, on the other hand, is funny as shit when you're high.
the famous video of Jason Burns though, when he's like, "Lay down, your intellectual arms," and, you know, when he's like, "You won't win, God. You won't win, God." Like that whole thing.
Wait. I've got to point out, though, that one thing with "you won't win, God" I find really funny, because it sounds like, because I picture him playing with one of those little claw machines, you know, that you move the claw around, then drop it down to get something out of there.
Yeah.
You know what was really funny recently was he made a video where he's dancing.
Yeah.
That is the first Jason Burns video I've ever watched for more than like a minute.
Yeah.
Oh man, last night I just have to bring this up. Jackie and I were gonna hang out with Mowdy, Jim Gardner, Jello Shots, and Cliff Jumper, and they were all pissed drunk, and I was pretty drunk too, and so was Jackie. And
I was drunk.
Jello Shots screen shared that clip of Jason Burns dancing while Mowdy and Jim were playing like guitar and serenading each other. It was the most I've laughed in like a long time. That shit was funny.
Everyone was drunk but me.
You wait till I get there and get you stoned, my buddy.
So what happens when I don't run shuffles? You actually end up in good hangouts.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to get some exotic shit, dude. Like, you tell me what weed you haven't tried, and I'm gonna try to get that shit, bro.
I don't care. I just that's what I care about.
You mentioned Jim Gardner. He's one of the old fundamentally flawed members that really hasn't gotten into the drama.
He doesn't give a shit. He's pissed off about like all people starting drama in his Facebook group and all that. Now I have my issues with Jim Gardner. I think he can get a bit heavy-handed sometimes, but yeah, he's done. He's as done with the whole thing as we are. He wants to do other stuff.
I know Cliff Jumper's also one of the good ones, right?
Cliff Jumper's trying very hard not to take a side.
And I don't blame him. He's smart.
Yeah,
He's smart for it.
He still considers those guys friends, and that's fine. He's fine with me, so.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys were kind of mad. I know you were mad at Mark, Wayne, and Alex and Jammed. I was wondering if you guys were like angry with Cliff as well, because he didn't
No, Cliff's fine. I'm fine with Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff's a good guy.
I was just at least a little disappointed. He didn't really stand up for anybody. Like
he's not he's not the kind of person who does that. He did stand up for Fiona in the hangout last night, though. Apparently.
Okay.
Mark was verbally abusing her.
Yeah, part of the problem is that because of the way they have this little clickiness set up, there's going to be backlash anyway around it. And frankly, what struck me while watching that ridiculousness was that people were put in a position that it was really hard for them to defend themselves, never mind anyone else. Which, to say the least, is a little bit absurd, but, you know, it's the way it ends up going. Now, anyone going in there and, heaven forbid, not agreeing with the hive mind in there was going to get backlash any way around it. And I went in there and I'm like, screw this shit. I'm holding the son of a bitch accountable. I'm not going to go in there and pretend to be reasonable about something that I feel is unreasonable. So yeah, screw that.
Although I do not like the group a lot or at all, I will advocate that not everyone fundamentally flawed is terrible.
Well, that's the thing, is it's not a matter of that. It really does seem to be certain individuals predominantly. And it's okay. I did a video a while ago. We always have this analogy of, you know, the feed the good wolf and starve the bad wolf. No, that's bullshit. And the reason why it's bullshit is that proverbial good wolf is going to go out and start fighting your battles for you, whether you want it to or not. And that's where the real trouble seems to come into play.
That's why you always have to speak up for yourself.
Yep. Always claim accountable those that claim to speak for you. My other little mottos. But the simple fact of the matter is, he sat there in that hangout and he said, no, what I actually said was this, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. A little bit of time to fact check later. No. So, yeah, kiss my ass.
Yeah, as far as people in that community, being a problem. Take Eve for example. She left a comment on that hangout, basically asking me to clarify my position on ridiculing people's irrational beliefs, and because her and she's a little more of a hardline anti-theist than a lot of people on here are, and I appreciated that. I responded to it because I didn't word my position that well because I was being attacked by a bunch of bullies.
Thing is, in Shuffles, we pretty much poke fun at everyone, including ourselves. But, there are plenty of weird beliefs out there, and some of them are detrimental and some may not be. But my big thing with the way that they went after Epi was, okay, we're not talking two equally irrational beliefs. When you're talking about one person that doesn't even necessarily take the Genesis account as more as an analogy, but still believes in a god, versus somebody that's sitting there claiming that pre-flood there was a worldwide civilization that had advanced tools that they, even though they're pure evil, decided to destroy so nobody else could get their hands on them because and that the Ark of the Covenant was a power supply that they had hidden in the Pyramid of Giza. I mean, these are not equally irrational beliefs. Clearly, Arcane is more bizarre with his beliefs. This isn't even a contest.
Does Arcane believe in stuff like ley lines too?
He's a 9/11 truther also. Big shocker there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, his tinfoil hat ain't shiny.
I mean, you can't say that all
like
irrational beliefs are equivalent. This is ridiculous.
Well, this is the thing, though. And this whole thing started this week because Gotten tried to, he tried to sort of provoke Epi, and Epi just decided, okay, this guy's being an asshole. I'm going to be as snarky of an asshole back. And
I thought that was funny.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I think he was justified in doing that because I do the exact same thing. If someone just wants to come out and they want to be an asshole, I'll be like, you know what, fuck you, man. I'm gonna be snarky.
That's what I said to them in there. That my criteria for whether I'll ridicule someone is based on more on their behavior than their beliefs.
Exactly, and
that reveals your character, and the character of those people deserves to be ridiculed because their behavior deserves to be ridiculed.
Yeah, well, what happened then was this. Epi made a response video to Alex Botten, and then Mark apparently makes this stupid comment saying, oh, so a Christian's telling us to be mature, and I actually made a comment there. And I'm like, are you honestly saying that it's impossible?
That's such a fallacy. That is such a fallacy.
Wait. So they're implying that being Christian means you're not... What?
Yeah, I can actually pull it back up. And then I actually said to Mark, I said, are you honestly saying that a theist can't be mature? Because I'm based on my interaction...
stupid.
It's pretty obvious that Epi is more mature than Mark. I mean, that's kind of a given.
Oh, yeah.
That really doesn't follow from the premise.
And basically, and his point was like, well, so, and his response to me was, well, what about, so you're telling me imaginary beliefs, like, make one more mature, or something, or he said imaginary beliefs are a star, and I basically said, well, what's your point? Even if...
straw manners.
Yeah, that's... And like I said,
doing that to me. Belief, whether or not it be true or not, does not dictate that their behavior is rational or not. If their behavior is rational, and they happen to have one belief that is unknown to be true or false, is irrelevant.
Oh, it gets even worse from there. Do you guys know who Atheist Chef is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
What Wayne said to him was just absolutely awful. When Atheist Chef came in, just to explain that, look, he has respect for people like Fiona and Epi because they are better people with good behavior pretty much all the time. And apparently Wayne says, well, quit trying to stand up for the moderates, and don't be so dishonest about your position. Like, Wayne actually thinks, like, he knows whether he's being honest or not about this position. And that's the part that really irritated me, like, the most. Like,
yeah.
I take my position to anyone who will listen. I don't think there's a God notion whatsoever.
I can think of
we are dealing with people's imaginary until we have a being in which we have interacted with There's no being yet. So the qualifier is that you actually have to have a being you're defining it, not self-defining it.
Yeah. I can think of 2 people in this community who are the age of 18 or younger who are more mature and self-aware than anyone in that hangout tonight, except maybe Cliffjumper.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But I will not deny someone the privilege and right to believe whatever the fuck they want, because it neither robs my pocket nor affects me.
2 people, Kevin. I know one of them is probably Jabron.
Jabron and Toby Kid. You might not know of her, but I'll link you to her YouTube channel.
I think I've heard of the name.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Like some of these people who have recently converted to atheism have like a lot of excess anger, which they're perfectly willing to put out online for everyone to see.
Not so much Galaxy. Eve, a little bit more. And I sort of understand why Eve. I mean, she really came from a much more hardcore background than I think Galaxy did.
Yeah, I had a little back and forth with Eve about in the comments on that video, and basically, like she pretty much appreciated my position that I think there's a place for ridiculing irrational beliefs. It's just not how I approach things. And that I understand where she's coming from, even though that's not how I go about things. But the way these guys are doing it is completely different. They just want to bully. Like, they even admitted that. Like I said, I asked straight up in the hangout tonight, do you think this kind of behavior is productive? Do you think it accomplishes anything? Do you think you're going to change anyone's minds? And they said, no, it's not the goal. We're not trying to be productive. We're not trying to change anyone's minds. So you're just bullies. Got it.
See, like, even when I'm interacting with someone like Bruce, everyone who knows Bruce knows he flies off the handle. And every time he flies off the handle, he says all atheists this and all atheists that, and he overgeneralizes all this stuff. And when he says all atheists are rude and ignorant and all this other stuff, I just respond with niceties and kindness, because that's what he's not expecting. I try not to ridicule anybody, and I have tried not to. Sometimes it's really hard.
I had sort of Bruce Shepard. I had sort of a back and forth with that guy. That was not a pleasant experience.
Now the thing is, I can and have gotten along with. Well, hell, I've gotten along with not just Bruce. I've gotten along with a lot of people that just, have had problems getting along with different folks over the course of their YouTube history. We can do this. Now the thing is, I don't see eye to eye with these people. I mean, I've gone into a couple hangouts that were almost exclusively theists, and I managed to get along just fine with them. And I managed, I think, to get through to them a little bit, and part of the point of this isn't, to sit there and placate them and tell them how wonderful they are and yada, 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 or any of this weird crap that I'm accused of. The thing is, we are pigeonholed. Just the fact that we don't have some God belief, there's all this nonsense that's said about us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to dispel that, you have to be a bigger person than, you have to be better about it. You have to, let them know this is, this stereotype is bullshit. And when you have a bunch of people running around displaying that stereotype for the world, well, congratulations. And there are people that when they enter the community, if they're treated, and they're on the fence, that is, if people enter in, they're not really sure where they stand on this, and they're deciding and this and that. When they see one side predominantly being a bunch of raging pricks, and the other side being fairly decent, what side do you think they're going to want to favor? I mean, it's simple. It's stupid. It's simple. Then, of course, you have, your moderate Christians. Ooh. Well, the simple fact of the matter is, when it comes to that, when you're dealing with some of the people with some of the more extreme beliefs, and you're hoping that some of them may change their minds or reevaluate some of these or think about these, the people that are going to get through to them are more likely to be people that are closer to their viewpoint because they have more in common with them than we do. So we need allies within the religious community. And we're not going to get them by sitting there trying to go up to people that are fairly reasonable, like Epi, and saying, well, sorry, you believe shit that's just as stupid as somebody that believes in fucking ancient Atlantean Jews. Sorry, soapbox down.
ancient Atlantean Jews.
Space Jews! Oh wait, that's spirit science.
A lot of people tell me when I try to be nice to someone who has a differing opinion that I'm wasting my time. And I have a pretty decent track record of just talking to people like a normal person
Yeah,
and
well,
getting a
you're
little, at
Canadian.
least getting a personal like assessment from them. Like one of the people that I talked to within the last 3 years, I can't remember what's her name, Dee Free D. I actually managed to get like with a personal conversation with her without it being about like the religious aspect. She told me her reasons and she told me what was wrong, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've actually seen this model play on a massive scale with a lot of people, and it does play out exactly how 13 describes it. The people that are on my side are kind, caring, and generous, and the people on the other side are very vitriol, very hate-filled. Now, people on my side are being pushed because it's been a long time for them. So, but we remind them that it just happens. And
Yes, well, you do have some douchebags on your side as well.
Out of curiosity, I don't really preach you tonight. Never mind.
It happens. Sometimes
I know the douchebags, but they aren't the people. The people are nice.
I don't know why a neutral position is a bad position, really.
Well, that's there is an actual fallacy with being in the middle, but that's not the neutral.
13.
I'm trying not to get preachy again, because otherwise I'm going to grab that soapbox, and Lord only knows when I'm going to let go, and he ain't telling no one. To say.
I thought he's Shadow now.
Yeah, well, you know. I'm still 13. I'm 13 heathen, whether I'm on Shadow or not. I'm just being a shadow of my former self at the moment.
So does that mean I can tell you to take it to Shadow now?
I think I am Shadow. Well, considering that we've been using Shadowfill as a place to go to just bitch and moan, what better to use as the ID for this account?
Yeah.
Considering it's almost entirely for shuffles right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13. That's exactly what came to mind when I saw that. I was like, Shadow Heathen. Is
Yeah.
that Shadowfill?
Shadowfuckle.
Yeah, you don't really make videos on the 13 Heathens channel anymore now, do you?
I know.
No, I'm going to go back to running the game on it eventually, most likely, because I just have reasons to take a break right now. But
Players are getting antsy.
well.
So,
Okay.
I have asked Kevin a question. You said that you and Jackie are probably going to make like a cross-country road trip when you pick up for graduation after graduation. But you guys are going to probably stop in a lot of places. Like, what are the states you're planning to stop in? And who are the people you're planning to meet?
We would be driving from Savannah to LA, so yeah, that would take us through Phoenix. And there are enough people there that yes, I would definitely want to stop and see you. I'd also want to see my relatives there because I've never been there.
You gonna drive through Texas and see 13?
That would take me through Dallas, and Fizz is also there.
Who?
Quite.
Fizz gone.
But anyway.
Well, you can also see Lenny Law in Florida.
He would have to drive up a little bit. I would want to stop in Pensacola and see the NCG guys as well.
Yeah, like just go to Florida and then reroute back.
Florida is a large state.
Yeah, Pensacola wouldn't be that much out of the way. If Lenny would be willing to drive up to Pensacola, that would be one thing. But
Watch out for Florida, man.
Didn't Lenny and Redline actually meet? Because I saw Redline's video.
Yes, they did.
That's awesome.
I spent a good portion of that day after they got back in the call with them.
Oh, good. Yeah, that seems like fun though. I mean, like he's one of the few people who knows what Redline looks like. Although to be fair, I have a general idea because I've seen him like with his mask on.
We actually had a good amount of fun that day picking on our favorite non-artist.
Roasted Phantom Lion, or they did. I was out of the house.
Yeah, we had a little bit of fun with that, but the online roast I took care of and had fun with. But that's what happens when somebody. Why would you go up to somebody that you know doesn't like your art and ask them to promote your art?
This is a dumbass.
That you're trying to say, not right.
Because any publicity is publicity.
Well, apparently you got a commission from it, from what I've been told. So, well.
Anyway, that road trip is pretty much dependent on me, how much money I can save up this next semester, because I'd essentially would need 2 plane tickets. But it's something I really, really want to do.
With me.
Yep, and then you get to Snuggles.
Cuddle, cuddle.
Yeah, cuddle. All
Yeah,
the way.
boom, that phrase is permanently ingrained in our vocabulary. Thanks a lot for that.
You were the one who invented it.
I know, but still, whenever I hear the word cuddle, I think of boom, and there are some times when I might think of the word cuddle that I might not want to be thinking of boom.
Hey.
Boom.
I've been told I look like a very good
Hang
trainer.
on. Boom. Just do me a favor. Just say I win.
I do win. That is Chan. When Chan makes you stick with an idea you don't want, you've won.
You've officially infested somebody's mind.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Oh man.
Carson.
What's up?
Did you just wake
How
up?
lit are you right now?
Did you pass out? Oh, he's lit.
No, I went away to go make me an awesome sandwich.
So you're lit. Is it the indica or the sativa tonight?
What?
Grape ape, right?
Oh, grape ape. Oh, I'm so jealous.
Oh, good choice.
Now this shit's getting silly.
God damn it. I want grape ape.
It was delicious, Jordy.
God damn it. If you guys go to if you guys go to Colorado, I will totally fly down and meet you there, and we can totally smoke a bowl.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were in Canada, Jordy. You're just gonna fly.
I said I'll fly down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a Peter Feathers, didn't you hear?
Yeah, I will be seeing them for New Year's. I'll be visiting Kevin and Jackie.
Maybe Kevin or Jackie, like one of you guys should like film the whole thing. You don't.
We will. Trust me, there will be videos. We might even come into a hangout together, like the three of us. I mean, Jackie and I will definitely be in hangouts.
Better not be seeing any leaked videos. I don't want to see that shit.
No, but I mean, if you guys look up, do you think I am? No one's gonna see that shit.
But I'm like talking about like the
Oh, so there is going to be videos.
I know Carson. No.
No.
Now I know 13 has been joking about giving his Carson one of his spy pens, but I'm not okay with that. I'm gonna have to.
13
search
has
my room
multiple
with
spy
Carson,
pens?
too. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, the sad thing is if you guys make it to go through
No.
or the sad thing is, and
Who
just
wants to
1.5 and just 1 month before I turn 21.
Putin wants
Yeah,
to
because you're going to be so adventurous after you turn 21. I can see it. All the cards against humanity's decks just going to be laid out on the bed. It's like, they're all mine. I'm an adult now. Don't touch my cards.
Well, if you guys want, we could try trying to go for a fake ID, although that's probably not going to work.
It's not worth it for you to get a fake ID. You'd never use it.
Yeah.
Just wait till you turn 21.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good point.
Damn right, good point, buddy.
Yeah. But here's the worst part, though, when I turn 21. I mean, I have a few friends of mine who are a little bit younger than me. I do not want to be buying them drinks, and because I don't want to be accountable.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, I've been suckered into doing that.
Suckered in, I just share it with people. I just drink it here.
Oh.
I drink it at my house. People who are under the age, I don't need to know. Don't tell anyone, and you ain't leaving the house until you're sober.
Probably check the time on this, see if it's time to go off air yet.
Thirteen's ready to kick us out.
Nah, I'm trying only to go to a certain time length of these suckers.
Yeah.
Is that me with the echo?
Oh, who's got
I
echo?
don't know, your voice is echoing, but I don't know about...
Your voice echoing.
Let's see, now we are... Holy crap, we're at 2:45 almost. I believe it is time to take officially time to take the conversation offline.
Goodbye.
Let's go for closing comments here. Let's start with Carson.
Don't kiss these holes in the mouth.
No idea what you just said, but that's all good. My closing comments. I've been tricky tonight. I'm shutting the hell up. Prudent.
Yeah, nothing yet. Yeah, forget it.
Good. Boom.
My favorite part of sitcoms are when they rehash old memories, because that means they're over.
Okay, Kevin.
Well, it's Button.
Jordy.
Big dicks in your ass are bad for your health. Stay black.
Jackie.
Fuck you, Alex Button.
Oh, you guys are bummers.
With a
Of course, I would disagree with you, Jordy.
I'm sorry, Alex Button.
I'm sorry you need to put other people down to feel good about yourself. It must be a sad life.
We only have one more. Faithless.
Faithless, come on.
Well, am I allowed to comment about Shani's cat?
You can comment on whatever you would like. It can be completely random. Don't care. Closing comment can be, I had pie today, for all it matters.
Well, I was really hoping I wouldn't be allowed to comment on Shani's cat because I really have nothing to contribute to that situation. I was so scrolling.
Cat is cute.
That was the comment.
Puppies are cute. That's my official closing statement.
Except
You
when they're...
shouldn't try to joke about puppies being hurt.
Okay, I'm going to reference something just for future reference here, seeing as I apparently forgot to mention it earlier. If you want an invite, use the damn Q&A. And on that note, I'm going to add one person to the post call. Hang on. There. I will send out that invite, seeing as the last comment was just a few minutes ago. And on that note, we are going offline.